Yep, nice and easy. We're done with that though. The jump rope. Yeah. Whenever I skip rope, I can't use these wireless headphones. They fall right out of my ears. So of course, it would be helpful if I could get the rope itself not to fall out of my hands. Finish my protein shake and then we'll hit this. New name, who this? Yes, sir. For those of you who don't know me, my name is BullMuscle. For those of you who know me as Beer Battered Ag, yes, I'm going through a rebrand. This seems like a pretty good time to talk about that, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm a die-hard Aggie.
The eyes of Texas are upon you. That is the song they sing so well. Sounds like hell! So goodbye to Texas University. We're gonna beat you all to chigger-a-rim, rock tough, real stuff, Texas A&M. Goodbye.
We get a little bit more all. So why can't I click all? Oh, yeah, there it goes. Nice. All right, let's do one more bronze bar. If you adopt the mindset, and this is a quote from Jacob Fisker of Early Retirement Extreme, if you know that guy, 10 points to you. But it's a quote that I find unbelievably poignant in today's era. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. I'm gonna repeat that. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. That's painful. But yes, my friends, pure protein, as theirs makes no difference from raw egg whites. It's disgusting, the taste is vile, and it smells, but 100. Yeah, my poor roommate has to deal with the farts that come from this, and as you might imagine, they're not pleasant. But let me go ahead and knock this bad boy down. Oh, that's vile. Come on. Oh, don't be like this. There we go. Sorry about that, y'all. It was all messed up. I don't know why it was doing that, but it's deciding, hey, what if we just didn't cooperate today? There we go. All right. My apologies. Let's go ahead and begin. Rain is starting to come down pretty hard, which I'm actually all right with because it means it's going to be... No, it's still really warm in here. Fantastic. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Today's the last stream before I'm off for an entire week, so I hope you enjoy. Today we got ourselves a push day. It's going to be a good time. Let's get the chat loaded here. Yeah, this is the one thing I can't stand. Also, I was cramping up pretty bad yesterday, so I'm rolling a little coconut juice this morning. The Island Boy. Okay, so you're asking about OnlyFans. I'm not on there because of my day job. But if you'd like that kind of content, you will enjoy my Discord. Come check that out. It's not OnlyFans, but there's a whole lot more there than I can show here. All right. Before we get started, I went and tried to modify the audio, so hopefully it's slightly better. Look, ultimately this is a garage, and so it's gonna be a bit echoey, but there's not a ton I can do about that. Unless I wanna, put up just loads and loads of sound deadening pads literally everywhere, and that's maybe something I'll consider doing at some point, but it's not something I'm doing right now. So welcome on in, everybody. We're gonna get started. Today we got push day. We're gonna hit up incline, and then we are probably going to hit some bench, some shoulder, but first some jump ropes. And I can never seem to do these very well. Get rolling. We're gonna hit up incline press first today. Full change of pace. Instead of doing bench today, we're gonna hit incline, dumbbell bench, and shoulders. Probably we'll hit some form of triceps as well. I love the bit of pulp you get in there. Little music on. Get started. Warm up. Going. That's more like it. Okay, sorry. That didn't feel terrific. Have to warm that up a little bit more. Hey, CHQ, thanks for the first time chat. Welcome on into the bullpen. Cheers. Do that one more time. Warm up my close grip as well. That ain't bad. Yeah, my right shoulder's a bit stiff, a bit sore this morning. We'll figure it out. So it's good to see you, CHQ. Welcome on in. All right. I'm at 225. And then we're going to rep this a few sets. We're going to go from there. probably do, I think, 4 sets of this, 2 sets of dumbbell bench, and then probably 2 sets of flies. Hey, Phoenix Gray, thank you very much for the follow. Oh, welcome to the bullpen. Oh. That felt pretty good. Oh. It's a little bit low. Bring you guys in just a touch, that should help. There we go. So we're gonna hit this, we'll probably hit shoulders after, maybe some triceps. We'll do dumbbell bench, we'll do a few things. I am definitely off center here. That's not ideal. There we go. That's not bad. Good first start. Subi Minor, good to see you. Welcome back. That's right. Yep, we're heading up towards MIT and Harvard this upcoming week. So we are heading towards Boston, Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm really excited. I'm going to be learning from some of the best and brightest. You didn't get the reference? It's a Beastie Boys reference, ain't it? It's a parody of No Sleep Till Brooklyn. If that's not a parody of No Sleep Till Brooklyn, then I'm missing it. I got it, it just didn't make me laugh all that much because I'm trying to lock in and focus, you know, get these lifts in. Let's see, what should I do? Let's go for Rooster by Alice in Chains. It's a good song. Talking about, I think it was Jerry Cantrell's father is a Vietnam vet. It's a pretty good song. I did not get as much sleep as I should have yesterday because I ended up making a political compass meme about the channel. That was fun, but I probably shouldn't have done that in retrospect. Oh well. There we go. second set of 8. Not bad. This is coconut water. This isn't normally stuff I drink. It's fairly high in sugar, but it's really good whenever, first off, it's amazing for a hangover. Second off, it's amazing for cramps. So my hamstrings were cramping up ferociously last night as a result of deadlifting heavy yesterday. For those of you who were at my stream yesterday, you saw that. So we're using this as a sort of way to ensure that I don't cramp mid-workout, because that would suck. Morning, Hodel. Ludu, good to see you too. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the bullpen. Welcome. Even that out. All right, so you got 2 sets here, 2 sets to go on incline. I was going to grill today, but weather's not looking so promising for that. It's supposed to rain here pretty much all day. But on the plus side, this means the high is only going to be 84. And it's probably about that warm in here already, thanks to my car, my roommate's car, keeping it warm in here all through the night. There we go. Seven. I should have waited a little bit longer. I could have gotten an 8 there. That's all right. Good lurking around. All right, well, hey, it's good to see you, Ludu. Thanks for doing so. Appreciate you letting me know. Walking tall, machine gun man. They spit on me in my homeland. Lawyer, send me pictures of my boy. Got my pills against mosquito death. My buddy's breathing his dying breath. Oh God, please, would you help me make it through? Snuff the rooster. Ah, yeah. I can't hit those notes. I stopped fooling myself. Hey, good morning, Severus. Good to see you. see you, Severus. Alright, let's go for a classic. Look, Enter Sandman might be normie as hell, but damn if it isn't a good song. I mean, this is one I've never quite understood. There are people who like shit on super popular or even overplayed songs because they're popular. It's like, you can argue that they're overplayed, and that's totally fine, but that doesn't necessarily make them bad. I'm not working in when you get yours in, although mine's out in the yard. Hell yeah. And I saw you were posting pictures of a farm cat. Tell you what, I'm not a cat person, but it's like the tomcats that go around these parts. They keep the local rat population down, so I don't got no problems with them. I can deal with outdoor cats. Indoor cats, nah, fuck right off. Hope the back loosens up today. Yours, that is. Yeah. Well, okay, so it's not just my back. Really, everything from about the back of my rib cage all the way down to my ankles on the posterior chain is sore. That's mid-back, lower back, glutes, hams, calves. And if you think about it, right, whenever you're doing a deadlift, which is what we were doing a lot yesterday, right, that's pretty much everything you're exercising is along that posterior chain. So the fact that it's all sore and not individual parts of it, right, that's a pretty good sign. If like just my back was sore, or just my glutes, or just my hams, that would mean maybe I'm focusing too much on one component. Hey, lab boys, bro. Hey, gonna give him the shout out. That's right, bro. You got your own command now. That's how you know you made it. I'm just fucking with you. This is 225, by the way, so I'm doing incline with 225. All right, let's finish. This is our fourth set. This is our last set. We've done 8, 8, and 7 so far. I want to get 8 again here. The rain's starting to pick up. I have to check the drainage system, make sure it's going well. The trouble here is that when sometimes we'll get a squall coming in from the Atlantic, and when that happens, the rain will dump hard and fast. Now, normally it doesn't do this. That's not common, but when it does happen, as y'all have sometimes seen on my channel, the water makes its way up and tries to flood the garage. So I've dug out a little bit better, dug out the trench going around sort of the side of my garage and into the backyard. I'm kind of hoping that proves to work. All right, here we go. Head to the lake. Cheers, bro. All right, yo, lab boys, stick around for one set here. Come on, I want a little motivation. Strong like bull. Come on, strong like bull. Come on! Come on. Yes, sir, come on! Let's go, that's 10. Ha! Free from sin till the Sandman he comes, yeah! Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. Sit light, and tonight, take my hand. You better believe, bro, the fact that I thought you better believe that doing that set, I was picturing you right here, egging me on.
I miss both my brothers. I'll tell you what, actually today is one of my brother's birthdays. So happy birthday to you if you are watching. Tell you what, actually it reminds me, I'm gonna send him a happy birthday message. 2, 3, 4. This is just me being lazy. We'll move to the shoulder press. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling strong. If I rep 10 on incline, let's try 155 on shoulders. See how this goes. I don't know if we'll do all the sets at 155, but we'll start there. Yes, if you can't see me balling, then you need glasses. Hell yeah. Dark Raven. If that happens again, I'm gonna ban you. Dark Raven, don't fucking promo your own shit before becoming part of the community first. I'm alright with self-promo to an extent, but if you're gonna make your first time chat just talking about your own project, that's bullshit, that's really rude. Don't do that. Alright, here we go. Never mind that voice you heard. It's just the beast under your bed. Seven. Ooh. I lost my balance there. Kind of quit early on that. I should have done one more. Oh well. Hey, I am Cass. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the bullpen. If one of my mods wouldn't mind deleting that comment there from Dark Raven, I'd appreciate that. Half on a sec, 3-6 Mafia, you got it. Hey, John D, it's good to see you. Glad to see. Hey, welcome on in, Ian Casp. Or I am Casp. I appreciate that. Yeah, shoulder press is always a good one. I'm trying my best not to push press with the bent knees. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do 2 sets of this, probably D-rack to 125, and then do behind the neck press. Right, that's the idea here. All right, so let's see, what is this? Half on a sec by 3-6 Mafia. I can fuck with that. Hip hop can work really well for working out in the same way that rock or metal can. Thanks, Severus. Appreciate it. There we go. 3-6 Mafia. Half on a sack. Hey, Kaju Kajar. Thank you very much for the follow. Watch that lower back too. Yeah, my back tends to curve up a little bit, but it's also a bit exaggerated from this angle because, right, when I breathe, my rib cage will expand, so it looks like I'm doing this, right? When I'm really, it's more like this, right? There's still a little bit of an arch there for sure, but it's kind of to be expected when you do shoulder press, at least to the extent of my knowledge. LT, yeah, it has been a while since you've been back in here. I'm glad to see you as always. I know you've probably been busy, but thank you very much for coming out. Hey, Keju, thanks for first time chat. Welcome to the bullpen. I see we got 31 people in chat already. That's fantastic. That means y'all have earned handstand push-ups. Oh, dude, Lab Boys. Okay, I don't know if you were in here for this, but I knocked down one of these bad boys, not because I'm hungover like normal, but because yesterday, dude, my hamstrings cramped up so bad that like I was physically unable to walk for a little while. Dude, I hit deadlifts really hard yesterday is what I learned. I've been on Twitch, just haven't been in the best mind space. Oh. That was, it's Thai coconut water, roasted coconut. This, I wouldn't normally, but a little bit of sugar, probably not the worst thing to have before a workout. Get you moving. Bud Light. Dude, I ain't drinking no Bud Light. Fuck that. If I want to drink American piss water, I'll at least drink Bush, because Bush is better than Bud and costs less. Do it properly. At Bush Heavy Boys. All right, here we go. 3-6 Mafia. Come on. Not bad. This song's talking about using drugs that I definitely can't. Such is the life of a wood worker. Alright, do the same thing here. I'm actually going to do this turned away from the camera so you can see the bar go behind my shoulders. Oh, sorry, behind my neck. Dropping the bar about the Chinese hose. Dude, I think I would speedrun getting Twitch banned if I actually tried to sing to this. Really good song though. Alright, so behind the neck press, I can find that I never actually seem to get as much on terms of weight, but it's still good. You feel it slightly differently in the delts. Come on. That was 8. Come on. You got one more in you. 2, 3. Gah! That's not bad. What was the name of that song mixed with Lazy Town? Dude, okay, the Lazy Town, there is a mix of the you know the Jack Black Dance Like a Butterfly meme? Where it's like Jack Black schizoing over a stop sign set to that butterfly anime song?
There's one where they've crossed that Butterfly song with We Are Number One. And it's a hilarious, dude, it's so funny. Hey, we've got Life with Aussies. Welcome on in. Or maybe I should say good day. Hell yeah. Look, y'all gave the world the Ute, good rugby, and for some reason y'all continue to live in a continent where there's more deadly animals per capita than any other. I fuck with Australia. Y'all cool. Australians are just British Texans, and as someone who has lived a large chunk of his life in Texas, I can fuck with that. I like Aussies. Met a girl, but I'm afraid to ask her out because she outbenches me. Fuck, can I ask her out? I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. Dude, what's the worst that could happen? She's still gonna say no. Or that's the worst that could happen. She's gonna say no like a girl that can't outbench you, right? If that's the worst thing that happens, you get told no, well, you got two options. One, you gotta try and work on yourself, improve yourself, or two, you gotta find someone else. It may require both. But, dude, take that fucking shot. You ain't got nothing to lose. Only thing you gotta lose is up here. And that ain't nothing. You got this, man. Fucking go out, ask her. Just fucking do it. Think about it, man. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Fucking ask her. Go, do it. Now. Do it! Do it now! Do my Arnold impersonation there. It's not very good. Also, I fucking love Arnold. The more I've learned about his life story, the more inspirational he becomes. Like, basically came over, you know, his parents' generation fought on the wrong side of World War II. Came over here in the 60s, made a name for himself by bodybuilding, becomes an actor, a playwright, you know, all these amazing things, then runs for governor and wins. He's just had a really impressive life. Like, I admire the shit out of the ambition. Schwarzenegger himself has said in his interviews that the most important difference between him and a lot of people who haven't been as successful is that he could visualize himself doing those successful steps, and as a result could plan accordingly. So I have a lot of respect for that. Mom's a nuclear engineer too? Huh. You wish your entire family worked nuclear power? Baller. I work in the nuclear industry, but I don't work in nuclear power. Speaking of, I was just about to play Peace Sells by Megadeth, so what timing? Who's buying? Come on. There we go. That's 11. All right, so we're gonna move to bench press now. If there's a new way, I'll be the first in line. But it better work this time. What do you mean I hurt your feelings? I didn't know you had any feelings. What do you mean I ain't kind? Just not your kind. Get in there. It's still we, the people,
if there's a new way. Yeah. There's two sides of the nuclear industry, and I don't work in power. Can you put a price on peace? Come on! Sure. Fleetwood Mac, hey, that's a good name. Welcome on in. Right now I'm playing Megadeth, but hey. I'll set the plates down. Swap to 25s. We'll go for reps on reverse tricep extensions. By the way, there are two really good Fleetwood Mac songs for working out. Not for working out, I should say, for running. Dude, Go Your Own Way, be it the studio version or the dance version they made in the 90s, is fucking excellent. It's really good. And I'm realizing now that I've drank too much water. Give me one moment. It's my property. Yeah, the other one, really good for running too, I found is Tusk. Tusk starts off slow. Well, as it progresses, it works really well for that, I think. All right. There we go. Ooh, feel that one tries. That's good. That's really good. Oh, Nick redeemed a peck bounce, all right. Just like the Pied Piper led rats through the streets. We dance like marionettes, swaying to the symphony, swaying to the symphony of destruction. Bum, 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 bum. I cannot quite make my pecs keep up with Dave Mustaine on this song. Morning, Nick. Good to see you as always. I think I'm actually going to do 2 more sets on this before I go back to doing dumbbell bench. Kind of want to get this done and then move it. One for the heavens. A peaceful man stands tall. 4, 1, 2, 3. Not bad. We'll do one more of those. Hey, Gloyd Forge, welcome on in. Good to see you. Neat Full, thank you very much. Welcome to the bullpen. Looks like it's raining over there. It sure is. It is dark. Darker than normal. The rain's been coming down for probably a good solid hour and a half now. But because I dug out my drainage trench, we're not having to deal with the same flooding issues that we were, which is good. That's what we want. And the sandy South Carolina soil is soaking up the vast majority of it already. Gotta head out. Hope you're more regular again. I've missed you. Dude, I've missed you too, LT. I'm really glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. Seriously, it means a lot. I always love the longtime followers. By the way, if you want a good meta post about my little community, I've made a political compass meme about it. You can find it on r/Wojak Compass. I think that's a pretty cool sub. I think there's good content in there. I don't know why, but I'm not really feeling Panama by Van Halen right now. Let's throw in a little bit more like Flat Rope Love by Bachman Turner, that's what it is. Let's do this. Here we go. I love that bass line that starts off. Boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum. 2, 3. Boom. Balance. Oh, all right. Not bad for extension. Move back to dumbbell bench. Nice haircut. I appreciate that. Roommate's been trimming it up real nice. I'll probably ask her to touch it up before I head out to Boston. birthday note. Keep going, a little flat more love. There we go, sent my brother a birthday wish. Because it's his birthday, and it's important. Family, man, nothing runs thicker than blood on blood, you know. Family, they're the ones who are there for you from cradle to grave. Treat family with respect and cherish it. You know, treat it with the dignity and the respect that it deserves. There we go. So I want to see what time he's in. Maybe in some awfully different time than me. It's not that late there. It's like 9:50. Hey, morning, Crash. Good to see you as always. Hey, Rainbow, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. What are you working this morning? We are working push day, so that's right, pecs, triceps, and shoulders. I'm just about to hit a set of bench dumbbell. I will give you a shout out, Rainbow, in just one moment. I've got a set to do first. These are 90-pound dumbbells, which is 41 kilos. Come on. No fucking quit. Strong like bull. Strong like bull. Get up there. 12. Not bad. Panda Illuminati to bands, the BullMuscle, and nobody get hurt. Well, you've got them. Welcome to the bullpen. 649. Oh, yeah, you live out west. Hey, Crash, I'm actually heading out to the West Coast in a couple weeks. I'm going to the better part of the West Coast, Washington. What, you think you were going to get out of here with that one California joke? Mm-mm. Nah. Nah, you're a pretty good sport about it. You're a pretty good sport about all the ribbing I give you for being from the Golden State, so cheers. Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, Washington in August, if you've really anywhere in the Pacific Northwest in the summertime, if you've been up there, you understand why I chose to go. I'm really excited. I'm going to spend time with my mom. Okay, so I want to talk about this. So I grew up in a conservative Catholic family, and as such, my parents were very much of the mindset of, get girls out of your head, focus on studying through high school, through college. Right about when I turned 25, it was like a switch flipped. And all of a sudden, I'm getting offers from my mom, and she's even enlisting some of her siblings to try and set me up on a few dates with some of the women out there, which I just think is really funny. I'm flattered, and I'm certainly going to say yes, because why not? It sounds like fun. It's just like, real interesting what your priorities were here. All of a sudden, now I'm starting to hit my late 20s. You're wondering why I don't have a wife and kids yet. It's like, I see what you're doing. I don't mind it, but I see what you're doing here. Strong leg pull. Someone working on just going through the motions and voice can feel push harder, make it worth time in the gym. Hell yeah, that's what I love to hear. Washington is beautiful. What else? Why not? Was Rainbow the Panda Man. So we're going to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for the raid. What were you doing today, Rainbow? Rainbow the Panda Mancer. I'm going to have to reread that to make sure I'm actually I'm typing that correctly. That is a long name. Yep, okay. Hopefully it goes through. There's your shout out. Thank you very much for the follow. For the shout out, I will give you my follow as a thank you. Or not the shout out, sorry. Thank you for the raid. All right. It is. Yes, it may be raining outside. God damn it. The circuit just broke. Stand by. The fan just turned off and the circuit broke. I don't know why. It's something. It's something with my roommate's car. Damn it. That was my roommate's car. Sorry about that, y'all. This is the trouble with the garage gym. We're just going to keep that unplugged for now. I'm going to reset the circuit breaker because I need that fan. It is probably 85-ish degrees in here, even though it's probably a lot cooler. It's probably mid to upper 70s outside because electric cars give off lots of heat. Okay, so let's do another set. I think Pathfinder. Calisthenics training gave me by my trainer. Oh, cool. All right. I don't know what Pathfinder is, but hey, man, thanks for coming by. Stick around if you feel like it. If you got a raid to run, I totally understand. But thank you for the raid. It's always appreciated. Let's do a little quiet riot. Really. Damn it. Predictably, the second I opened the door for like 3 seconds to go and stop the car alarm, and predictably, a swarm of mosquitoes has now entered the garage. South Carolina. All right, let's do this. A little metal out for Quiet Riot. Did you know Randy Rhoads actually originally started a Quiet Riot? Hey, Christian Sandoval, good to see you as always, man. Strong leg pull, come on. Come on. More power! I won't be frightened till it strikes the hour. Come on. Come on, get it up. Oh, yeah. Let's go. 13. One more. Frustrated, outdated. I really wanna be overrated. And I'm a keeper, not a loser, and I ain't no weeper. I've got the boys to bring noise. All right, what we need to do next. Put that down. Use that for shoulder flies, and then for close grip. You know what I'm going to try on these? I haven't done shoulder flies with a straight bar in forever, and I'll see how they feel. Ooh, that's tough. I like that. That's not bad. Yeah, we'll do a second set of that. That's not bad. Let's get a break from dumbbells. Get your straight jackets on tonight! Can I find a turn-based game? It's always be a tabletop game like Dungeons and Dragons. Interesting. Unlimited Jason, you up in Pennsylvania? Yeah, Pennsylvania's got hit with a heat wave. Saw that. It's low 90s and humid. So basically, y'all are experiencing a normal South Carolina summer. Climate change be wild. And it's actually raining quite heavily here. Probably upper 70s outside, but it's a lot warmer in here because of the two cars. I would guess, and because of me at this point as well, I would guess it's probably between 80 and 85 in here. I will say, I do think Pennsylvania is very pretty, but y'all have some of the dumbest shit in Pennsylvania. What is going on with y'all's liquor laws? I'm sorry, that's just dumb. And for God's sake, how on earth have you managed to mismanage the Pennsylvania Turnpike as badly as you have? I have never seen a worse piece of road. And then the fucking Schuylkill Expressway, as you go from, Conshohocken Inn to Philadelphia, is just fucking absurd. Ridiculous. Okay, the rain is really starting to pick up, so I'm gonna go check the drainage system, and then we're gonna hit this one more time. Oh yeah, we got ourselves a little river starting to flow now. Drainage is looking solid though. It's holding steady. No backups yet. I'm gonna check to make sure it's flooding out the back and away from my house. And it sure as hell is. Let me check briefly. I'm gonna have to prod it a little bit with like a broom or something, but that won't be too hard. That'll take me a few seconds. Wipe myself off after doing that. It gets wet. Very wet out. Hey, thank you very much for the subscription. Rainbow, I do appreciate it. You guys will notice, and by all means, I'm never ungrateful for the subs, but you will notice that I basically don't run ads on my stream. I run 30 seconds an hour. That's the minimum Twitch allows me to, and the reason for that is very simple. I'm not doing these streams for the money. You see up there? Yeah. That's due to my day job, and as such, I'm doing this because I like giving people advice and inspiring people to make good decisions. I have no interest in making Twitch, a massive profit center. I feel like that the amount you get paid for ads is peanuts anyway, and so I don't see the point in degrading the quality of my stream. The additional ads Twitch, poops out. It's not worth it. So I will happily forego that money to improve the quality of the stream. And Twitch, I don't think, likes that approach, but if you feel like tipping regardless,
and not giving half your money to Amazon. There you go. All right. Actually, you know what? With all this rain, I think there's a song I need to play. The first song by arguably the OG heavy metal band, Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath. So apparently the backstory behind this song is that I think it was either Tony Iommi or Geezer Butler had like a fever dream. They weren't feeling well, and they came up. It was this riff where basically they hallucinated that they saw the Grim Reaper. I don't know how many drugs they were taking because this was Black Sabbath in 1970, so it could well be drug influenced too. It's still a banger. It's slow though, and that's okay. It's got what's called, I think it's like the demonic riff. It's that 3-tone riff, that 3-note riff. Come on, 2, 3. I think that was 11. We're gonna be done there with the heavy stuff. All right, so that river is starting to get quite large. So what I'm gonna do is I need something to clear the blockage that's starting to develop, and I have it. Right back, y'all. I'm gonna take this broom, I'm gonna sweep some of the leaves to the side that's sort of causing a dam at the fence line, and that should really open up the flow. That'll do. Not perfect. We get the job done. The tips are okay with 3 inches. Ha! That's funny. Really enjoy your stream. It helps you stay motivated. That really. So, when I get messages like that, that's why I do these streams. More than any other reason, because I feel like I'm actually helping people here. It makes it so much more enjoyable. Right? Because, like, truthfully, because I'm doing so much talking while I stream, it makes it harder for me to recover, get more oxygen in my system. So I'd probably get a slightly better workout usually if I wasn't live. But if I'm helping motivate other people to lift, like that's a sacrifice I'm more than willing to make. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4. Come on, 2 more. No, that's not bad. Oh, no, please, God, help me. It's just creepy, that sort of slow, haunting, sludgy. I'll tell you something else, too. Any grunge band that says Black Sabbath didn't affect them is lying.
one of the three from what's called the original unholy trinity of heavy metal. All right. We're gonna hit some sets on 175 for close grip. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Starting to get a little bit of fatigue, starting to set in. I wanted 12 there, and I was not going to get it. I believe you're my Saturday morning cartoons. I'll take it. I ain't Superman, but I still got a decent bod. All in a day's work, right? Alright. Need another song. God, I do love Black Sabbath though. You know what? Big Red Fro threw this song at me the other day. It's called Mob Rules by Black Sabbath, which is from the Dio era, and it's also excellent. Decent body, try to reduce his gorgeous body. Hey, humility is a value in and of itself. I know I'm decent looking, right? I know I'm in good shape, but I'm not perfect. Nobody is. And it's important to stay humble. All right. So let's see, we got 2 sets of chest left. We've got 4 sets of, no, 4, 6. Yeah, 4 sets of shoulders left, and we've got 6 sets of tries left. We have a fair amount of triceps to do. That's gonna be fun. I'll do a few side raises. Get those done. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, whoa. Yep. All right. I'll do 3 sets of. I think what we're going to do is 3 sets of close grip, 2 sets of JM, and probably 2 sets of dumbbell overhead. Yeah, I like Black Sabbath a lot. They're not my top 10 though. My top 10, I'd probably skew more towards the progressive rock side in general. I can tell you my top 5 right immediately. 6 through 10, the order varies a lot. 1 through 5 is pretty well set. Yes is number 1 by far. I adore Yes. I actually haven't listened to their new album, and I really should. Got Pink Floyd is 2. Probably Rush is 3, ZZ Top is 4, and The Clash is 5. And then, probably below that, Zeppelin, Van Halen, Alice in Chains, Motorhead, and Queen. Come on. There we go. All right, we'll do sides again. Come on. Tempted dogs out. All right, appreciate it. It's always good to see you crash. Cheers. That ring is coming down. That's coming down hard. I'm gonna check the drainage one more time. Gotta see this. Yeah, it's still holding strong. It's flowing terrific. It's not gotten any closer to the garage. That's a really good sign. I'm very happy about that. Water's harmlessly flowing to the backyard. Excellent. That's what I kind of designed the trench to do. It's doing its job. It's earning its keep today. Go for a little Iron Maiden. Speaking of other excellent bands to work out to, go for a little Power Slave. So we'll hit this. We'll move to jams. We'll hit Arnold Press as well. Jams, behind the necks, and chest flies, and then we'll be good. Cool. You're not the only one drooling, don't worry, I'm used to it. I'm flattered, seriously. I was ignored through high school and college, and you know, now I'm getting all this attention for the first time in my life at 28. And it really just kind of shows that you're better off punting your 20s and really just grinding. You know, I'm not one of these Andrew Tate style grind set bros, but there's a lot of good valued information in, you know, focusing on yourself, looking out for number one, and postponing the dating scene in favor of improving your career, physical, and financial prospects. Look, and this doesn't, I don't care if you're straight, gay, bi, whatever. If you are in better shape, more financially stable, and you've got better future prospects, you're more attractive to whoever you're looking to date. Doesn't matter who you are. Here we go. But luckily for me, I've got a very wide preferences. Unfortunately, around here the obesity rate is 40%, and as a result, the dating pool is a bit worse than you'd think it should be for, you know, a local area. So here we go. 2, 3. Come on.
10. That's not bad. We'll move to 95 of the JMs. This is an exercise, I think it was Komodo Beats came in here and explained to me. And it's a cross between a skull crusher and it's a cross between a skull crusher and a close grip, and I kind of dig it. It's not bad. It really hits the triceps well. Keep the sweat. Yeah, I'm working more now. All right. Hey, thanks for dropping in, Severus, as always. Great to see you. I'm wondering maybe I should just use skull crushers instead. I haven't done skull crushers in a hot minute. I think I'm going to do that. But you know what? I'll do jams and then skull crushers. Duh. Why not both? Porque no los dos. Come on. Ha ha ha. Yeah, my form's ready to get in there. Hey, Typical Yan, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. 12 people, 12 for the 12th man, and it's my man, W. Ramir. Good to see you. No problem's actually here before. Well, what was your previous name? There you go. Appreciate the follow. I give you a follow there. Streamlabs III, welcome in. Welcome to the bullpen, everybody. So, new Raiders, my name is BullMuscle. I'm a fitness, diet, financial advice streamer. We talk a whole variety of things here, and I hope that in your time here, I can help motivate you on to better heights for yourself. That's why I run these channels. That's why I stream. If you are new, hit that refresh button so that way your view counts in the Twitch numbers. We're not on a partner push, but it's still kind of nice. Makes the raid really count. All right, so am I in Muay Thai or boxing? No, but my brother on YouTube, Lab Boys TV, he is, and he was the one, he and my mother, gifted me that amazing wall bag that I've started using on my Sunday streams. I would do it tomorrow, but tomorrow I'm actually shipping up to Boston, so I will not be streaming tomorrow at my normal time, I'm afraid. But, you know, that's how this goes. All right, so let's see, what else do we need to do? We got Arnold presses, I know. That's not even. There we go. What did we do last time on Arnold press? Sets of 12 and then 11 at 50. Okay, we'll hit that. We'll hit that. You got chest flies. You got one more set of jams. Let's do that. Streamlabs III, thank you for the follow. All right, W. Ramiro, always good to see you as well. I know you've rated me a couple times. I've rated you. Always good to see you. Thanks for stopping on in. Let's do. Hey, we got another follow. All right, Miket298. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the bullpen. Always love it when we get new people coming in. I love watching that follower count grow. I've been talking about what to do for
maybe a goal of 2,000 followers. We're sitting at about 1,650 right now. I would love to hit 2,000, you know, maybe, I don't know, before the end of September or something. I've been talking about like shaving my mustache as an example. But it's up to you guys, you know? All right. By the way, I don't know how loud, like, relative to the rest of the stream, the follower alarm is. If it's too loud, let me know, and I'll make a note of that to try and tweak it. All right. Go one more set of JMs. We got 2 more sets of triceps. We're gonna do skull crushers. We got chest flies, and we've got Arnold presses. That's what we got left. We're probably 80% of the way through the workout. This will be my last workout in here for about a week, so let's finish strong. And y'all have our handstand push-ups at the end of the workout, by the way, because we get 30 viewers. Go. Nice. All right. Yeah, let's hit Arnold press next. Little Cemetery Gates by Pantera going here. You could argue these guys were the best band ever come out of the Lone Star State if it wasn't for ZZ Top. So what is an Arnold press? An Arnold press is where you start with a supinated grip and finish in a pronated grip for a shoulder press. I find that it works the deltoids better than a conventional shoulder press. We've already done those with the barbell. You can't really do an Arnold press with barbells, so you're best doing it with dumbbells. And look, if it's good enough for the Austrian oak, it's good enough for me. Yes, I am an Arnold fan. Man like that has fucking vision, has conviction. As ambition. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Strong like bull. Come on. Oh, nope, that's 9. That didn't count. That's a failure. That's annoying. All right, we're gonna move to skull crushers. Just need to go down weight. Skull crushers are not an exercise you're meant to do at heavy weight. We're gonna hit this at 65, no more. God, I'm sweating like a greased pig. And ladies and gents, it's not going to get any cooler than this until October. If you're wondering why I don't stream in the afternoon, here you go. It's South Carolina in July. Even when it's raining, it's muggy and humid and hot. I wouldn't want it any other way though. Alright, we need some skull crushers. There we go. It's Mike T, not Mecat. What the fuck am I doing? Oh. All right, we got 2 sets of chest flies. We'll do 1 set of those after Arnold's. We got 1 more set of those and 1 more set of skull crushers, then we're done. So we got 4 sets left. So you got 40 viewers. If we hit 50, let me know. That means y'all get the splits. I think I updated that on my channel page. If I didn't, I need to. Keep an eye on that viewer count, y'all. All right. Last set of shoulders. Come on. Strong like bull. Come on. Nope. All right, that's 9. That's a bit disappointing, but what are you gonna do? All right, we're on shoulders for today. We're gonna do a set of chest flies at 40, a set of skull crushers at 65, and then a set of chest flies at 30, and then we're done. We'll go and we'll do handstand push-ups. And I think I've got the perfect song to continue with. Turbo Lover by Judas Priest. One of my favorite Judas Priest songs. Speaking of great bands that somehow are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yet. Did they recently get in? I actually don't remember, but the fact that Judas Priest either is not or took this long to get into the Hall of Fame is a travesty. I mean, Rob Halford is an incredible musician. I really like Judas Priest. They cool. I guess Rob Halford is to metal what Freddie Mercury is to rock. That's what I would say. I feel like that's a pretty good comparison, too. I'm not just saying that because they're both gay. Well, Freddie was bi, but I'm saying that because listen to the vocal ranges they both had. It's incredible. Like, Painkiller versus, you know, Somebody to Love as a good example. It's incredible. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Slow on these. The weight isn't the reason we do these. I'm your turbo lover. I think that's 15. Oh. Woo. Let's go. Week 2 of my cut, didn't lose any weight this week. Hey, sometimes that's what happens. Were you tracking your calories? Do you know if it was because you didn't run a big enough calorie deficit, or maybe it's water weight? Do you have any ideas on why you might not have lost as much? Good to see you, Jacob, by the way, as always. hear the engines cry. I'm your turbo lover. That's it. We're gonna try. We got one set left. Last set, baby. Let's get some height. We ain't done. We ain't quitting. Strong like bull. Strong like bull.
I was just checking the drainage, making sure it's still dry.
What?
I was just checking the drainage, making sure it's still dry, but there is a little wet spot on the garage door.
Is there?
Yeah,
Where?
you see it creeping in?
Oh boy. That's just the rain though. You can look for yourself.
Yeah.
It's working.
It is working, but that does concern me.
That's just a leak in the rubber at the bottom. You know, a little drip like that ain't gonna matter.
Alright, just make it sure.
Heavy load. We shout and explode. Out of water. Let's go hold a rocket. Hell yeah, thanks for the motivation. I'm your turbo lover. Excuse me. All that water is covering all the air, creates bubbles. Make me burp. Come on. Ran 6 miles this morning? Hell yeah, bro. That's good, Hold. Good for you. Shut. One. Two. Strong like ball. 4. 5. 6. 8. 9. 10. 11. Come on. 12. 13. Come on! Strong rifle. Ah, 50. We're done. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. It's that hard work. Hard work. Hard fucking work. Alright. Hey, we got another follow. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the follow. Luxusur Vesti. At 12, I did a 252-pound squat. Is that good? If you're age 12 now, please exit the stream. I assume that means you're not, but that was a PR. And yes, that's incredible. That's extremely good. That's some powerlifter type shit. Lux, are you a powerlifter? All right, I'm gonna take just one moment. We're gonna head inside and do handstand push-ups in just a moment. But what I need to do is clear the drainage path again, just so that way it doesn't get too crazy while I'm gone. And use this little manual leader, edger. We'll churn up and cut away a lot of the debris that's blocking the fence line. Stand by.
lower. That's what we wanted. And we actually got a vine stuck in the, do that. The vine's stuck in there. Leave this in here for now. It'll do, got the job done. Probably need to throw some WD or a little bit of anti-squeak on there, or grease. Anyway, I'm covered in both water and sweat now. So, towel ourselves off, turn off the fan, wipe down the bench, and we're gonna head inside. Don't fucking joke about that. Lux, please don't joke, but seriously, that should get you banned off of, that will actually get your account suspended, don't do that. I know you're clearly joking based on that laugh emoji, which is why I'm not banning you, but like, seriously, Twitch doesn't fuck around with that. Please don't get yourself banned, and definitely don't get me banned. All right, let's head in. Let's do some handstand push-ups. You ran 6 miles this morning. Seriously, dude, 6 miles is about as far as I've ever run, and it's really impressive. That's damn good. I cleared the drainage, so we're good. Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll.
Want the light on or off?
Yeah. You can keep it off for now. Just gonna plug the laptop in. Just a moment. Get reset. We're gonna take the shoes off. Didn't do that immediately because I'm just trying to get in out of the rain and prevent the massive swarms of mosquitoes from coming in at me. It is quite dark in here today. I think that's because, let's see if we can't. That is quite, yeah. Send you a pic from halfway where I took a break. Do it, man. Go post it on the Discord. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right. Six miles would take me forever. I would not be going very fast. I'd be running maybe, if I'm really pushing it, I might be able to do that in about 45, 50 minutes tops. Or not tops, but like minimum. Maybe, if it's a slow day, it might take me an hour, I don't know. I don't really care much for running at that level. It's a lot. There we go. We'll turn up the brightness a little bit, I think, today. There we go. That's much better. Okay. Is it raining today? Yes, it is. Raining pretty steadily, actually. So definitely raining a good amount. There we go. Damn it. I'm setting. Fucking hell! Just. There we go. I'm sorry. I'm setting up chat on my big monitor because when I do that, I can better stick up the chat and respond. Alrighty. So there we go. Hey, we got Mishi back. Mishi the artist. Good to see you, my man. Welcome on in. How you doing? Always good to see you. Always good to see you. Sea otters hold hands while sleeping so they don't float away from each other. That is adorable. That is indeed a fact. I don't know. You could be bullshitting me right now, and I wouldn't know. Morning, chef. Good to see you as always. Let's see. We hit everything on our lift, so it is handstand push-up time. I'm gonna do abs first because I need a little bit more time for my shoulders to recover. That was a pretty intense workout with those Arnold presses, right? The fact that I was only able to do 9 of them would tell me that my shoulders are pretty shot right now. So if I give them a couple extra minutes, I'll be able to get 1 or 2 more reps on handstand push-ups. And that's what you guys want to see anyway, so I think that's cool. We're going to start with abs. According to that video, heat pumps are nearly ideal for the South. The biggest issue is dealing with moisture freezing on them at temperatures below 0. So yeah, I saw that video regarding heat pumps, and I do like the idea of adding them for efficiency. The fact is here, from my house, I barely run the heater at all if left to my own devices because I'll set my thermostat to 55 and be perfectly happy with that. In fact, I'm thrilled with it because it means I naturally burn a lot more just to keep my body warm, which means I can eat a whole lot more food, and my inner tubby fuck loves that. So especially when I'm bulking, I'm a huge fan of keeping it nice and cool. My roommate obviously is much more normal, frankly, and that's okay. So we compromise in 62 to 64. But air conditioning too. Well, the trouble with you can't. So the trouble you're saying use a heat pump for air conditioning? I don't like being too wholesome. So dolphins, yeah. Dolphins do some interesting. Dolphins are some of the most intelligent animals out there, and they are horny. That's not a conversation I was expecting. This is a weird conversation, I would say. This reminds me, I'm actually going to post this in chat. Hang on. Because I literally made a political compass of people on my stream, and I feel like this is definitely falling into the weird combos chat. So we're gonna post this in here. There we go. I'm gonna throw that in there if you guys like meta commentary about the community. Anyway, we're gonna start with abs. Because again, we're gonna give our shoulders a little bit more time to heal, or not heal, but recover. Well, recovery is a form of healing, I suppose. You get the point. We're gonna do, let's see, today is July 29th, so we're gonna do reps. That means we're gonna hit raised leg sit-ups, jackknives, bicycles, Russian twists, and V-sits. So I think that's where we're gonna begin. All right. We do 5 sets of 60. But that is a conversation for sure there, Mishi. It's always good to see you. Mishi, by the way, I should speak out. Mishi is one of the artists that created some of the art on my channel, and I really, really appreciate the fact that he did it. His rates are very reasonable. I highly recommend him as a commission. 100%. If you like some of the artwork on my stream, the PFP, the logo on my channel isn't Mishi's. That's Sanix Mike's. But the other one, the bull holding the dumbbells, that is Mishi, and it looks really good. You did a really great job on that. I'm very appreciative. So, you know what? I'm gonna give you a shout out. I know you don't stream that often on Twitch, but hey, I don't mind giving you the shout out there. Definitely go. I think you're more active on like Insta and other stuff where maybe it makes more sense for an artist to be. But go check out Mishi's stuff if you really like. If you like the artwork on my channel, I'm sure he's willing to work for you. Strongly endorse his stuff. Alrighty. Turn the light on. Been meaning to stream. I just moved for college. Oh, really? Where are you going to college? I guess maybe I shouldn't say that. If it's a small college, you don't want to, give too much out personally. But cool, man. I hope you have a great time at university. That's awesome. So I mentioned this before. My laptop broke yesterday. Ouchie. That sucks. Well, I guess you're not going to be streaming much then. Oh. Tough break, man. Posted the pic for my run. Sweet. Hold on. I'll make sure to look at it whenever we're done with abs and handstand push-ups and protein and all the rest. So Dodge.
Yeah.
Grilling might be a touch difficult today. We'll see if the storm weather clears, but if it doesn't, we may end up hitting snowcap. Or
I'm down for snowcap. Snowcap fucking slaps.
Or I'll make a stir fry out of the ground turkey. I may do that anyway, just because I want this. It was a good workout in there today. I was repping 225 in.
I was repping 225 on incline, so I may just freaking mob protein today with some of that ground turkey and then freeze the other packet. Mike says grill in the garage with the door open. I could do that, but Dodge really doesn't want me to, and while I am the owner of the house, you know, she's like I'm shipping out to Boston tomorrow for a training, and she's the one that's gonna hold the fort down, so I'm gonna respect her wishes on that one. That seems like the nice thing to do. So I personally love the idea of grilling in the garage with the door open, but no, if the roomie ain't cool with it, I think that's a fair thing to request. That I just don't do that. That's fine. There will be other days to grill. 2, 3, hope. It's not really that big of a deal. Like, there's no skin off. Wait, what am I doing? Today's an odd day. Why am I doing 6 inches? I need to be doing this instead. And frankly, I need to move this back. Okay, more facts. Mice know when other mice are sad, and it makes them sad too. That's so. Mice are like the feels guys hugging each other. The Wojaks like hugging each other. That's kind of cool. 2, 3. Whoop. Oops. Shit. What did I left my bag there. That was a shopping bag. I need to clean up in here. My bad. All right, take 3. 1, 2, 3. Hoop. Oh, the abs are sore. That's a good sign. They're sore from deadlifting yesterday. Come on, finish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Feel that. I love grilling in the winter. Dude, hot. I love grilling in the summer because it keeps the kitchen cooler, which means I don't have to pay as much on air conditioning bills. I mean, we keep it fairly cool here. We keep it at 76. Usually I'll let it run up to about 82 in the daytime if Dodge isn't here. But otherwise, you know, we're pretty luxurious about that. It's just, unfortunately, it's the nature of living in the deep south. You're just gonna have high electric bills in the summer. But I will say, actually, that's part of what I like. Making lots of stews and soups and baking stuff in the winter, roasting stuff, because the oven will pretty much act as a heater. Approved for an Ally bank account today? Hey, good for you. You Russian twist. 3, 4, 8, 12. 2 down, 3 to go. Hey, Physical Commando, good to see you as always. We had a pretty good workout. What was that today? It's a pretty cold day, and I had some hot chai, and my whole body went, Cold? You must live in Australia or something. I forget. Are you from Australia? Or you must live in Canada. It's cold and July are not really two things I can process. I'll have to figure out something other than the credit union. That's probably a good call. Thanks to my dad's service, I use USAA, and they're the gold standard for banking, honestly.
I got South Carolina Federal, and they fucking backed me up when I had a dispute with PayPal, so I stick with them.
India, so, oh, yeah, I forget you're from India. I would love to visit India someday. I'll tell you something. I will happily go to town on like the most basic, plain ass dal. Just a basic lentil curry. God, I tell you what, man, Indians, y'all can work magic with like the most basic ingredients. It's fantastic. And y'all's tea is fantastic too. A good cup of chai, it's different. Although I also really am partial to the teas from China. Although I don't know how much of that gets imported from India these days as well. Anyway. I'm quite proud of our cuisine. I would be. I mean, and here's the crazy thing. Like, people don't realize that India is more like the United States or the European Union or China than it is, one more homogenous country, right? Like, if you live in Germany, it's pretty similar food no matter where you go. But if you live in India and you go and you try to get a dosa in southern India, it is vastly different than Punjabi style or anything around the the Ganges Delta as you get towards Bangladesh. Like there's a huge variety in India, and that's what I love. India has the same kind of variety in cooking in the same way that China or the United States does, and it's fantastic. I will say one other thing about India. For the life of me, I cannot wrap my head around the game of cricket. It is truly incomprehensible to me. All right. 3 down, 2 to go. We got bicycles, we got V-sets. Butter chicken, tikka masala. Well, butter chicken and tikka masala are only half Indian, I think. I think those were a combination of ingredients that the British introduced. Well, tikka masala was invented by a Scotsman, or I think it may have been, it was like a curry salesman in Scotland. But hit the border and it doesn't touch the ground. It's a 6, hit the ground, but it gets to the border, that's 4. I still don't understand it, man. The problem is I keep trying to compare cricket to baseball, and it does not work at all. The two games, in theory, I think are derived from something similar, like a root-based game that occurred in the 19th century, but they split and went on 2 very different paths. Is butter chicken fully Indian? I was pretty sure. Dodge, you were the one who told me, I think. Wasn't tikka masala invented by a Scotsman?
No, it was invented by a guy who, like an actual Indian man who owned a shop in Scotland.
Oh.
And he wanted these louts to get the fuck out of his shop, so he gave them he mixed some cream with some leftover curry sauce, and he served it to them, and they actually fucking loved it, and he realized he had a hit on his hands.
Okay, so it wasn't.
That's the story I was told.
So it was still an Indian immigrant. It was just, happened to be in the British Isles. So butter chicken is Indian, my bad.
I like butter chicken.
I think they're alright. I prefer a vindaloo.
You can't see it, but I'm giving you the stink eye.
Oh, and anything with paneer. Oh my god, I love paneer so much. Oh, and then my favorite biryani is egg biryani. I don't know why, but it just works. Oh. Well, South Africa has the biggest Indian population outside of India. Interesting violence. I would have figured it would have been one of the Gulf states. So I know a lot of Indian workers migrate to like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Qatar to do work there. The correct way to make an Indian dish, because the spices people use is vastly different in each house. I know, that's fantastic. That very much works with my way of cooking, because I just kind of YOLO it in the kitchen too. I don't measure shit. It's awesome. It's way more fun that way. Here's a basic introduction. South India does flavor balance, North India knows flavor impact. That's probably a pretty good way to put it. Either way, again, I don't think I've had bad, like, I don't ever think I've had an even like a bad Indian restaurant will still taste really good.
That one we went to in Lexington, we waited a while, but damn, it was worth the wait.
It was pretty good. Favorite Indian food is Nepalese. I think my favorite Indian is Punjabi. I will say I have a soft spot for the dosa, which I believe is South India. I love a dosa. Also, I love samosas or pakoras and chutney. It's bad for you because it's fried, but boy does it taste good. I got bicycles, right. 3, 4, 6, 7, 20, 3, 4, 8, 9, 30, 2, 3, 40, 50, 60. All right, that's it. All we got now is we've got our handstand push-ups. So can I get some hype? Relax for just a moment, get some hype. We'll do that right in just a moment. Dosa is the most common South Indian breakfast. It's fantastic. I love dosa. Can't recommend Karnataka enough. I've never heard of that. That's good to know. I'm getting Indian for lunch here. There's a semi-decent Indian joint. Actually, there's a couple good ones in Augusta, but that's a haul. I can't get. There's a halfway decent Chinese place in my little town, but otherwise, you have to go all the way to Augusta for decent Indian. Supposedly, there's a good place in Aiken too. I don't know if it's still there though.
What, Taj?
Yeah.
We went there.
Yeah, but is it still open? I thought they closed it to renovate that hotel.
No, Taj is still open.
Oh, cool. Well, all right then. There's a decent one in Aiken too.
Yeah, unfortunately, they use nuts in a lot of their cooking, so I can't have much of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, and this is a trouble for not just Indian, but Thai, Indonesian, any real South Asian cuisine. Dodger has a pretty severe tree nut allergy. We learned this the hard way. As such, she can't have cashews, definitely not walnuts, almonds, Brazil nuts. Can you do pistachios?
Yeah, because I have the pistachio fudge from Atlantic City, and
That's true.
I've been eating that since childhood, and I've never had a problem with it.
Okay, so you can do pistachios, but pistachios are actually. I'll tell you what. This is I think technically Afghan, or it's either Afghanistan or like Pashtun, but it's the Peshawara naan. You find it usually in more like Pakistani or Afghan restaurants, and it's like a fruit and nut naan, and it's fantastic. That's really good. I love the Peshawari naan. All right, here we go. Handstand push-ups. And by the way, if y'all like what I do, come check out the Discord. I'm always active there, and especially this week when I'm going to be out of town, that's where you're going to want to be. Oh, by the way, if any of y'all live in or around the city of Boston and you'd like to meet up in real life, come talk to me on Discord, because I'm going to be there. Here we go. 3, up. Oh my God. That's all I got. My shoulders are shot right now. Ouchie. I'm
fish, the state of Kerala does it best. Well, yeah, because India, I mean, it's basically it is a subcontinent, but it's got loads and loads of coastlines. So I would figure you'd get very good fish there. Lots of rivers too. No cashews or walnuts. I think she'd love my mom's food. Nobody in my house likes nuts or curries, and my mom's got grandma's entire dictionary of food knowledge. My grandma's such a good freaking cook. There's one other issue with Dodger, and this is literally, I will call it a skill issue. She is an absolute baby when it comes to spice. She will admit as much. You are. I'm sorry. You think Whataburger ketchup is hot. And I get it. You grew up in the Northeast. You grew up in Yankee Land. Y'all don't do spice up there, but you are 100% of you will order baby mild at an Indian restaurant without shame.
Yeah, that's right. I do order it without shame. You got a problem with that?
Yes. Immensely, in fact, because it means I can't make my curry spicy here. I have to add it in afterwards, and it's just not as good because it doesn't kind of bake into the flavor. So I do have a problem with that. Speaking of problems I have, she did not clean the kitchen from her mess last night. Hey, Unexpected Crusade, welcome on in. Thanks for the first time chat. Welcome to the bullpen. One thing I've noticed about non-Indians eating spicy food is that they'll keep eating it if it burns. So, I spent a large chunk of my life in Texas, and no, Texas is nowhere near India when it comes to heat, but we have a very large Mexican population. Mexicans do put in a fair amount of heat on their food, and so I got used to reasonably spicy food. The other thing is I grew up in an Air Force family, and we were stationed overseas in Japan. And there were, the Japanese don't go insane on heat the same way the rest of Asia does, but there were some pretty decent Thai and Indian restaurants, and they would cook it hot. Because a lot of what would happen a lot of the time is service members would get, they'd find, usually young airmen would find women overseas from Thailand or Vietnam or India or any of the, Korea, any of these Asian countries, and they would develop an affinity for the hot style of cooking. And once they got restationed, they would bring their now new wives with them wherever they went. And those wives would often, work in, like the bowling alley when we were stationed at Yokota, had this bitchin' Thai restaurant in it. It was cooked by a little Thai lady who was a wife of one of the airmen, and she was unbelievable back there. And that was actually my introduction to Thai food. My parents loved it too. It was pretty neat. I got to experience Thai food at a very young age. Just really, really cool stuff there. Anyway, it is time for me to get some protein on. So let's hit this. Crusader, you love the endorphins that get released with heat. Yeah, for sure. Glad to be here, man. Crusader, are you one of the guys from the Wojak Compass sub? Because if you are, welcome, and really great to see one of y'all out here. I threw a link to the Wojak Compass subreddit on there. I'm not a huge fan of Reddit, but as far as subs go, that's a quality one. I really enjoy it. Especially the goat of the compass, Perpetual Hillman. If you know anything about political compasses, you already know this guy. He's like, I don't know if he's like some autodidact or some shit, but like he writes down everything about his life and then just makes compasses about it, and they're all really interesting to read. I don't know. Or you just some rando that showed up. And in either case, welcome. Glad to have you. Feeling like shit because today is the first really hot day. The summer gym was really hot. I felt sick ever since I got back 2 hours ago. Going to the gym tomorrow, though. That's what I'm talking about, man. Hey, keep up with the grind. I'm assuming if today was the first really hot day of the summer and we're almost in August, that means you must live in like the Northeast. Hey, is that Vem Fatale? Is that a pun on Femme Fatale? I like that. That's clever. Welcome to the bullpen and good username. I like that. That's quite funny. I think that's brilliant. That's good. Oh, you're from the UK? My condolences. Bless your heart. So hot for you is like 30 degrees C. I like to make jokes to my British friends about that. But y'all gave us many wonderful things. So I can't be too mad about it.
Y'all did give us the three. I like to call them the gear knobs. Juicy, thick cuts of meat. I want to eat like a carnivore. Hell yeah, brother. I eat a fair amount of meat. I've got a big old package of ground turkey that I'm gonna cook up today, probably. It's extra protein. We heat is intense now. That's me talking about barbecue. Which into liminal, juicy fat meat. Dude, you should know, if you've been in my channel at all, you know the horny is here. It's just something you get used to. You know, again, as long as it doesn't violate Twitch terms of service, y'all do you. It don't matter that much to me. So we're going to put some protein in. Sometimes I do this with milk, and that makes it really rich and tasty, but I'm out of milk right now, so we're going to do it with water. But I also like it cold because I am an American, and more importantly, I am from the best part of the U.S., the Deep South. So I'm going to throw in ice. I am a proud Southerner. Hey, without the UK, you wouldn't have nearly as many cool-ass fireworks shows. This is 100% factual. Look, no. Look, again, I like to joke on the Brits. Well, I like to take the piss out of everyone. If any of my audience who's from California, you know this already. I will be ruthless. I will be borderline abusive towards my California friends in here, and they'll just send me pot shots right back. It makes it way more fun if we can take the jokes, take the piss out of each other. It's just enjoyable. That's enough slices. Whereabouts in the South and going to school in Atlanta? Hey, all right. Well, Atlanta isn't really the South anymore, but I'm just right across the Savannah River in South Carolina. So howdy. Nearest city to me is Augusta, Georgia, actually. If you're going to school in Atlanta, that makes me wonder, Georgia State or Georgia Tech? Because if you're going to Georgia Tech, my bro is getting his master's degree from there, and that is arguably the greatest school in the Deep South, which is, as an Aggie, something that pains me to say, but I'll admit it. You know, it takes the piss out of the Brits more than the Brits. We deserve it for being British. That's the thing. The British are the masters of self-deprecating humor, and I don't know why, but I think the British are like the funniest people. British comedy is hilarious to me. And no, I'm not just talking about, obviously, Clarkson, Hammond, and May as an example. I mean, those three are hilarious. In particular, I think James May is really funny. But, the fact that, James May James May will make a sandwich, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen, as an example. Yeah, cheese. You've got from John Cleese, who is unbelievably funny as well. Any of the Pythons. You've got Stephen Fry. I think Stephen Fry's a hoot and a holler. And even today, there are a lot of, if you go and watch British stand-up, it's just funny. The British are really good at self-deprecating humor, and I appreciate that about them. John Oliver used to be funnier than he is now. He's kind of gone I don't like the term SJW, but his entire shtick is now, this is problematic, that is problematic, and it's old. It gets kind of dull. So, but I still think he's quite, if you go and watch old John Oliver stand-up clips, you can tell he's a funny dude. He's got a quick wit. Oh, you're going to Emory. I got a buddy who went to Emory. That is a fantastic school. However, if you're going there for law, I should warn you that I am an engineer and we are mortal enemies now. Lawyers piss me off. I'm going to put it that way, because of what I do for a living. For those of you who don't know what I do for a living, I can't really state it, but I can give you that as a hint. I want to address the old Great Britain right now, guys. I'm not mad at y'all for invading for spices. I'm mad because you don't use them. Oh my god. I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm doing criminal defense, so I doubt we'd ever overlap. Fair enough. You know what? That's fair. Now, it's just a joke. Lawyers and engineers are natural enemies. You can tell because it doesn't do many legal disclaimers when he should. Fair, Mike. You know what? Absolutely fair. I love that.
Funniest three peoples are the Scottish, the Polish, and the Australians. I will say, I wouldn't count it just as Israelis, but Jews in particular. The amount of really funny Jewish comedians out there is really high, and I think it's funny for the same. I think they're funny for the same reason that the Polish are funny. When you have a history of your people basically getting beaten up by everyone, you have to develop some sort of a coping mechanism, and humor often becomes that coping mechanism. So, for me, I could see the Polish for sure. Indians, honestly, there are a lot of really funny Indian comics out there. And when I say Indians, I really should say anybody from the subcontinent, because there are funny Pakistani comedians as well, or Bangladeshi comedians. Just in general, the subcontinent. Poles for sure. Jewish comedians are really funny to me. I will say, I think they're really funny. They're just, I mean, for what it's worth. Hey Dodge, are you streaming tonight?
I would like to.
Are you interested in talking to the audience about what you're gonna do? I'll give you the floor if you need it.
Give me a second.
All right. I'm mostly saying that because I'm itching for a pee break, and my jug down there is full. I do it for composting. That's what I tell myself. All right, so let's count the macros on the shake we made. So it was 140 for the peanut protein. The creatine's it's negligible. And 2 scoops of the protein powder here, which is 120. So I'm keeping the bag. I emptied the bag into the canister because it's easier to get the protein out of the canister. But don't be fooled. It's this bag. This is the basic Costco brand gold standard whey protein. So it's 120 per scoop. So we did 2 scoops. That's 240. Plus 140 from the peanut protein. So that's 380 calories. 24 grams of protein per scoop. So that's 24 plus 48. I know the peanut protein is... Actually, let me check. Peanut protein is 8 per, so that's 24, 48, 56, 64 grams of protein. Fat, 2 per scoop for the protein powder, so that's 2 per scoop for the peanut protein, so that's 6, 8. And carbohydrates, 3, 6, 11, 16. So 64, 8, 16, 380 calories. So all the best comedy clubs are owned by the Polish. They allow all types of humor, even when the super offensive comedians. That's the thing about comedy. I think there is no line. Okay, so you can make tasteless jokes, and it's okay for the audience to groan. Like, the comedians who get all bitchy about an audience groaning at a joke or booing a joke, they have the right to do that. Just as much as the comedian has the right to say the joke. And that's part of the art of comedy. You gotta read the audience, right? If you're going to do a bunch of really offensive jokes and only really offensive jokes targeted at your audience, yeah, it might piss the audience off eventually, but you do have the right to say that. And I think comedy is one of those things where it's all funny, like it's all okay, or none of it is. I don't think you can pick and draw lines on that kind of stuff in general. I don't know if we've hit 50 in the audience, but if we do, let me know, because I will do the splits for y'all. Oh. I'm gonna stretch out a little bit. My shoulders are really sore, but that's a good sign. Today was shoulder day. Pecs are popping though. Look at that. Lats are looking all right. Starting to get that sort of turtle shell back. The butterfly wings. Unexpected crusade. Couldn't have said it better myself. Speaking in particular, there's been a lot of interviews they've done with John Cleese about this very topic, and I love the way he talks about it. John Cleese is really, really funny, and he's also he's sharp. He's really smart. Hi, Mr. Lats. I'll give y'all a lat flex. Why not? I'm in a great mood. It's one of the things I love about weightlifting more than everything else is the positive mental health headspace it puts you in. Today was a pretty solid workout. I didn't hit everything, right? I only got sets of 9 on the Arnold press, but they're repping 225 on incline. I got sets of 11 to 13 on dumbbell press, which isn't bad. I've hit 15 before, but after incline, that's not terrible. My close grip was pretty decent.
here's my opinion. If you go to a comedy show and you get made fun of, you can't really get mad as a comedy show. I would say you can get mad if you're the only person being picked on. Like, I feel like if you're a comedian, like, right, don't just spend your entire time targeting one show or like one thing. Like, okay, I'll put it this way. Like Bill Burr, this is maybe 15 years ago, went to Philadelphia and just did nothing but a rant dissing Philadelphia, and he got booed. What was he expecting? Like, of course, if you're gonna sit there and shit talk Philly for an hour, people from Philly are gonna boo you, especially if you're not from Philly yourself, and Bill Burr isn't. He's from Boston. But
Bad
like,
things happen in Philadelphia.
Philly's a fine city. Apart from having really violent sports fans, it's fine otherwise. I really appreciate the fact that it's as walkable almost as DC or New York City, but it's far less expensive. Philly is an underrated city, I think, especially when you consider connectivity. Alan Fisher on YouTube, who I don't agree with politically, he's much further to the left than I am, but Alan Fisher is one of the urbanist YouTubers that I think does a really good job talking about why he likes Philly. He talks about its flaws. He talks about, for instance, some of the shortcomings that SEPTA has, but he has a really good perspective on why he chose to move to Philly and stay in the area, and he really seems to like it. So, also, he's like one of the rare urbanists that isn't like a total soy boy. He actually fucking lifts, and I have a lot of respect for that, right? If you want to fucking be strong for your ideas, and one thing I love about urbanism in particular is the idea that it can help curb our really pathetic obesity rates in this country. But very few urbanists want to talk about that, and I don't understand why. Because that's a really great way to get more of the lifter bro crowd on your side. Be like, look, this is going to help you urbanism, having walkable cities is going to drastically improve and drastically increase your daily calorie burn rate, which means you're going to get fucking shredded. Why wouldn't you want that? That's like, it's part of the reason I'm a huge fan of strong towns in particular. It's a different take on the whole urbanism debate that continues to pop up. I'm a huge fan of urbanism. I love walkable cities. In particular, I'm a huge fan of bikes. I think the bicycle is one of the greatest inventions humankind has ever come up with. It's fun. It's unbelievably low cost to run. And instead of burning gasoline or electricity, you're burning the flab off of your own ass. Like, that's a win-win. You're literally powering yourself. And you can go flying at 5, 6, 7 times the speed of walking, it's just terrific. Pious holier than thou assholes must die in Minecraft. I wouldn't even say that. Just, there's an old Southern phrase for this sort of thing, and it's just get off your high horse. Moving to Spain would be great for my health. Speaking of much more walkable areas, for sure. Really, much of Western Europe, I will 100%. I'm a proud patriotic American, but this is a huge shortcoming. Much of Western Europe is far more livable in the sense that you can walk, you can bike, you can take transit, and you won't have to go to a gym to stay in reasonable shape because you're going to be walking a lot more. And this is statistically proven. Something like the average Western European walks 2,000 to 3,000 more steps per day than the average American. That's, I think, 4,000 or 5,000 for the average Japanese person. And the Japanese, of course, being very famous for a long lifespan. Maybe there's something they're doing there that we should emulate. Bicycle is much more a symbol of freedom than a car, IMO. Damn fucking straight it is, yes. Much less maintenance, much cheaper, no insurance. You don't need a license. Oi, you got a license for that bicycle, sir? Sorry, I'll stop. That was terrible. You can boo me for that. That was awful. Don't need training, gets you fit. Exactly. No, I'm a huge fan of. There's an article too from Mr. Money Mustache. A huge fan. I'm a huge fan of his because that whole financially independence thing, right? He talks about what's called muscle over motor. Where possible, if you can use your own body to get a job done over something motorized, you're going to be better off for doing so because it adds the benefit of making you more fit as you do it, and instead of having to use resources to get the job done. I'm here for a summer job. Then Fatality. I love what Portland has done with their city.
It's a lot to do with I walk from my apartment to my office, an hour walk, and only about 10 minutes of that are you on a sidewalk next door cars drive. Portland has a lot of pros and a lot of cons. A lot of pros, I love how bikeable it is. I love how much they focused on transit, and I love how they've tried to make the city a lot less car-centric. Cons, Portland, get your homeless problem together. It's gotten really bad. It's almost as bad as San Francisco's at this point, and look, I appreciate the idea of trying something new with decriminalizing drugs, but unfortunately that's turned lots of Portland into a drug haven, and that's not good either. So there's also the NIMBYism problem that Portland has. There are a lot of residents that they support urbanism and walkable, dense neighborhoods in theory, but not in their neighborhood, and that is hypocrisy, and that bothers me. Yeah, there you go. You know what? You took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you, Mike. Exactly. Yeah, NIMBYism pisses me off a lot of the time. Boo me all you want. I've seen what makes you cheer. I mean, there's a reason I said if we hit 50 viewers, I'll do the splits. I do know what makes y'all cheer. Weirdly enough, the entire traffic will stop for a cow, and the cow knows it owns the road. It'll stop in the middle, look at you like, look at me, guess what, you're my bitch now, and lie down. In Yellowstone, buffalo will do that, and it's really funny. And then you'll get the idiot, and almost always they come from Florida, because of course they're from Florida. Oh, all right, Superdan TV. Superdan TTV. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the bullpen. But in Yellowstone, buffalo will do that. And don't piss off a buffalo. It can destroy your car. It can destroy you from inside your car. But usually, every year, there's one or two idiots, and they're almost always from Florida, that will go out and try to, like, pet the buffalo, and then they get gored. And then the Park Service has to say, do not pet the buffalo. At some point, you got to say, this is a Darwin Award.
And there are actual buffalo.
Oh, my God. Moose, too. Yes. Moose are fucking ornery as hell. Do not piss. Like, don't go near a moose. Don't talk to a moose. Leave the moose the fuck alone. Moose they are not happy to see humans. Almost none of the time are moose chill. Buffalo can be chill. Yeah, Dodger was saying they're all like buffalo petting farms and
No,
zoos,
there's
right?
there's farms where they raise bison, and if you ask nicely, I'm sure the proprietor will let you pet one for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And
but
it won't cost you your life.
Don't go to fucking Yellowstone and pet the buffalo. That's just fucking dumb. You know, actually, if you think that's a good idea, go and do it. We probably don't need your genetics reproducing. If you're dumb enough to, if you are a stupid enough motherfucker to go out and pet a half-ton buffalo, you kind of get what you deserve on that one. Don't lend a moose any beer money. Actually, speaking of decent brews, there's I think it's called like Moose Drool or something that the Canadians make. It's actually a halfway decent beer. City Council just passed an anti-camping ordinance, but didn't do anything to give people an alternative. It's just harassment of homeless people. So the 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. downtown is people wandering around instead of being in their tents. So them fatale. Here's the issue I think I have with Portland. Because of the NIMBYism, Portland can't build enough dense housing. And if it were just the drugs, right, and if it were just the poverty that was causing homelessness, you would see huge homeless populations in Detroit and in West Virginia and in parts of Appalachia. But you don't. I mean, hell, I live in not the richest area in the deep south, right? The reason we don't have a homeless population, even though the weather is a lot more conducive to it down here, because you don't have to worry about getting frozen, is that we have affordable housing. Prices for housing are just much lower here. Portland, because again, it refuses to densify to the level it needs to, does not have that housing. It's a math problem. There isn't enough housing to meet demand. As such, the poorest are the ones that get pushed out the fastest. It's a sad reality of pretty much every city on the West Coast at this point. Decriminalizing drugs is a two-part solution. You need to create the rehabilitation support for those who are using it to look like it does in European countries. I have two feelings about this. I'm all right with decriminalizing drugs to an extent. But if you were a repeat user, I think you get one Narcan shot. Look, we've known that the fentanyl crisis is happening now for years. If you are a drug user, you are more than aware that if you shoot up, it's very likely you could have fentanyl in your system and that could kill you lights out like that. You get one chance. You get one more chance to clean up your act. You get one Narcan. We'll bail you out one time. Can't just sit here and bail out repeat drug addicts again and again and again. That's not sustainable, right? This is ultimately sort of in a much more grim way a good in shortage. We can only care for a certain amount of people. It's best to allocate resources to people who aren't lost causes, to people who maybe they've fallen on some hard times, but they're really trying to piece their lives back together. The people who are repeat users at some point, they're beyond saving. And I know that sounds harsh, but that's the world we live in, unfortunately. That's where we differ. I'm not willing to give unlimited chances. I know, and part of me says, well, that's a Christian thing to do, but ultimately, you got to focus your resources on people who want to be saved, people who want to make a positive change in their lives. And it's not really the ultimate solution is make housing cheaper, make jobs more available, remove drug offenses from criminal records so it allows people to get out of jail for drug crimes and be able to find work instead of get discriminated against for having an addiction, which that's not the right solution, obviously. You want to get people out of the drug world and get them into normal society. So you got to give them a pathway to do that. But the people who refuse to take the pathway, I have a lot less sympathy for you. That may sound cruel, that may sound harsh, and it's okay for you to disagree with me on this one. Let me explain it to me. Mishi, I like that. Monkey small, buffalo big. Monkey plus buffalo equals buffalo plus minus monkey. That's funny. I like that. Most people are repeat users dealing with unaddressed health issues and pain management. We create a solution for so many people. Well, and this is one where I think the Sacklers should have been. I would argue, look, I'm not sure how I feel about the death penalty, but boy, if there was one group of people I would consider putting on death row immediately, it would be the Sacklers, the family that created OxyContin and the epidemic thereof, more or less pushed pain pills and bribed doctors to push pain pills to people who didn't need them, which exacerbated the problem. I have very little sympathy. Those people need to be, all of their money needs to be confiscated and sent towards this drug crisis. Absolutely. No problem with that. But again, there's only so much money to go around. Let's spend it on the people who aren't lost causes first. Fairly sure the crux of the idea in decrim is to couple that with treating addiction as a mental health issue and providing infrastructure to support helping treating it. Portugal has had a lot of success with it. It took some time for rates to come down. Yes and no. Portugal still has a lot of problems with drug users. Let's not, right, it is better than, Portugal right now is doing better than Seattle, Los Angeles, or San Francisco, or Portland in that regard in terms of, treating its drug problem, or God help Appalachia, right? It's not just the West Coast, but the West Coast is where it's the most visible because of the homeless crisis. But Portugal still has its problem with users, and it still has its problem with people who flock there because they know they won't be punished for using. These are people who are seeking out the drug, right? If you are looking to, and I know, right, it's not as easy as just saying no. I'm not a troglodyte trapped in the 1980s on this issue. But if you are moving to a place that is very permissive with drug laws, right, you stay, if possible, if you really want to stay away from the drugs, you would be far better off moving as far away, making drugs as inaccessible as possible for you. And I wouldn't call it an addiction, but I'm using my cravings as an example. And I struggle with this, actually. And it's obviously much, much, much milder than a drug addiction. I get that, I understand that, but it's a metaphor, okay? Humor me. I get ridiculous food cravings between about 8:30 and 9:30 almost every single night. So what I try to do is put all the junk food away so I can't see it. I have to go back into the kitchen. And sometimes my roommate, to her credit, helps me out here. And if I can make it through that hour, I tend to eat a lot less crap, and I tend to do a whole lot better on my daily macros, which allows me to make better progress. The same concept applies to, right, if I can distract myself, do something important. Like last night, I actually ran a really big calorie deficit because I was busy making that compass, that political compass. Sometimes I'll play RuneScape, or I'll play, I'll read, I'll write in my journal. Stuff like that that keeps me away from wanting food seems to be a really good idea. See, what you have to do, and this is something that if you have a problem like that, and again, I get that an addiction to drugs is much, much, much more intense, but you have to acknowledge that problem and try to put preventative measures in place to make it harder to access that problem. It's not a perfect solution, but from a personal standpoint, that's the best advice I can give based off of my own experiences. And again, I get that, right, I've never had a drug addiction problem. Well, I say that. I have been sent to the hospital for drinking too much alcohol before, I will say. And what I've found is that the best way to solve that for me has been stop buying it. If I get gifted alcohol, I got gifted a bunch of mini bottles from my mom. It was a bunch of really nice like craft vodka and whiskey. I seem to be able to ration it out okay. And I've started switching to non-alcoholic beer because I like the way beer tastes, but I don't want the alcohol in my system. It's bad for me. And what I found is and we're going to put this to the test this year. One of the issues that I had last year with my drinking was that it was tied to A&M football. For those of you who are aware of college football, you don't need any introduction on how bad last year was for us, but it made me drink to unhealthy levels. And that was an unhealthy coping mechanism. So I'm really trying to distance myself as much from caring about A&M football this year. Hell, you've seen my rebrand. I used to be Beer Battered Ag. Now I'm, right, instead of Beer Battered Ag, which it has alcohol in the name for God's sake, and it has a tie-in to a university whose football program I have no control over, I've switched to BullMuscle because that's something I can control. That's an image I want to project. It's visualizing something positive. You got to visualize what you want to achieve. You got to visualize the good path. You got to visualize the results of the good path and stay laser focused on that. And again, I get that isn't 100% applicable to every addict out there, but we all have problems, and this is how I've been able to solve mine. Sorry about that. That's my little rant. A lot of rehab also requiring things that aren't required for addiction treatment. People have to give up pets, friends. See, that's not good. Okay. Some friends, if your friends are what are pushing heroin to you, yeah, you need to cut them off. Participate in religious counseling. Religion can help, although oftentimes it's trading one addiction for another. Although I'd certainly say a strong religious participation is a much better choice than heavy drug use. Like Dave Mustaine, I know, he got clean and found Jesus as an example. And a lot of people say, oh, he's a prick now, but I would it's better to go that route than the route Lane Staley went, another rock singer from that era. Lane Staley ended up succumbing to heroin usage. He died of a speedball in 2002, as an example. Mall for Rehab doesn't have to be the way it's currently set up. Well, right, so AA, NA, and programs like that are pretty much all privately funded. So if you want to publicly fund secular programs, hey, more power to you, and I'd be willing to throw tax money towards that. But if there's a private program that wants to use religion as a valve to get people off of drugs, that's a good thing. I will gladly take religion over drug use 100 times out of 100. I should convince a couple gays that religious counseling is better than drugs. Okay, so I need to talk about this then, Patel. So I actually am bi. I just don't really talk about it on my stream because I don't want to make my sexuality my identity. And I live in the deep south, okay? This is a small southern town of 1,800. There are 7 churches in my town. They are all Baptist.
No, not all. Some of them are Methodist.
Okay, some are Methodist. Okay, you get the point though. None of them are Catholic, which is actually what my religion is, by the way. And so I understand the y'all need Jesus crowd. I live among the y'all need Jesus crowd, right? So I understand if you are LGBT, religion can definitely represent a much, it can represent a much less palatable option. So if you are a drug addict and you're LGBT, yeah, you may need to find a different way forward. But it's all the more important that you do because unfortunately, we still have, this is a little bit of the 1980s mindset around, needle usage that can lead to increased HIV cases. That's not good either. And unfortunately, that is something that has greatly affected the LGBT community. It's something that, frankly, is a massive stain on our 40th president's legacy, to put it mildly. But let's see. Take on alcohol is only drink for special occasions like birthdays. Also, don't drink out of sadness. Yeah. See, I get it. It's something I've struggled with. I have drunk out of sadness before, and it wasn't healthy. And I'm trying my best to not do that anymore. But that's the thing. We're all on our own journeys. You have to find what works for you and go with that. If that's religious, more power to you. If that's secular, more power to you. If it's replacing something like lifting, that's a great option too. Hey, Trollosis, thank you very much for the follow, and Guiding Light TTV, thank you for the follow. Oh no, it's just Guiding Light TV. Thank you very much for the follow. And I know, Mike, you in particular, because of where you live right now, are not just irreligious, but perhaps maybe a little bit more hostile towards religion, and I understand why. I totally do. But you need to understand that religion does help a lot of people improve their lives. And I can give you an example, personal example here. My father died 3 years ago. The church was there for my mother. My dad died of a very rare cancer in his 50s. And we were stationed, this was 2020, so this was COVID year, which made the isolation that much more profound. And it hit my mom like a freight train. It had to. They were married for 30 years. And the church there in my mom's town is it's what gave her the comfort and the solace that, myself and my brothers being spread out across the world from her could not. So there is a lot of good that comes out of religion too, and it really is it's a personal thing. I don't think you should apply your religious values to others, but if religion helps you be a better person, be as religious as you feel you need to be. Religion is bad, so like that's the thing. Hit my head on the dumbbells because I forgot I left them on my bed. Ouchie! Yikes! Make sure you're not bleeding up there. That's not good. Yeah. We can't extract what we do after singular data point. I'm not saying that, but there are a lot of people, okay? I've got neighbors. I've got friends that I knew in college. I've got friends that I've learned in work. I've got lots of people that I know where religion is a positive influence in their life. And I get there is a lot of people for whom religion is a negative influence in their life. I am 100% aware of that, but it is just an 1,800 population town in the South too. Relatable. Well, welcome on in. What state, if you don't mind me asking? I'm here in South Carolina. I love it here, by the way. Looks like the rain might have stopped. It's come down to a drizzle. There's more data to show religion is bad. Look, I get there's no convincing you here, Mike, but look, religion's a positive influence in my life. And while I'm not a regular church-going Catholic, I do, try to look at the philosophy of Jesus Christ, and I try to follow that to the best of my ability. I'm not perfect, and I fuck up a lot, but it's a positive influence in my life, and it's a positive influence in millions of people's lives. So if you can't get that, that's your problem. And again, I 100% understand why you feel about religion the way you do. You're entitled to that view, but I feel very differently, and we can agree to disagree on that. I don't mind people using religion if it works out for them, but I really think I really dislike religious orders for taking up so much space in public service delivery. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think there do need to be secular pathways for people who do not find comfort in religion to find the help they need, and that's one where it's quite tricky to pull off. But I think that is necessary. I would agree with that.
Anyway, let's see. Did I miss anything else? Chef said, as far as Portugal still has lower deaths, usage rates the most of the EU, your rate of HIV transmission. Yes, I would agree. It's over a 20-year timeline. So what they've done has worked. I think we're agreeing here. It's just what they've done isn't perfect. I would definitely, never let the perfect be the enemy of the good. I agree with that. Some people believe it cold fusion. Huh? Hey, Dodge.
Yeah?
Did you say you were gonna stream tonight?
Possibly, yes.
Would you like to talk to the audience about that? Because I really am itching for a piss break here.
Alright, go work. I ain't stopping it.
Appreciate it. Well, I want to give them something instead of just sending them the BRB message. Maybe that was a nice thing to do.
Yeah. So if I stream tonight, it'll probably be around 8:30.
Oh my god.
Y'all heard that, right? So, yeah, around 8:30 or so, I'll be doing some Jackbox, and yeah, that's what I'll be doing, and who knows? Y'all might see some more of Ferdinand's friends. Yeah, I know y'all heard that. So, yeah, twitch.tv/Dodger of Zion. Hope to see y'all there at 8:30.
Sorry about that. God, I had to pee so bad. That was needed, desperately so. Thank you very much for covering there, Dodger. Yeah, I'm gonna give her a shout out actually, y'all. She's the roommate. I probably won't be around very much tonight because I got to get up early to fly to Boston tomorrow, so we're gonna go there. Belief of 0 point energy brings happiness. Well, cold fusion is theoretically possible. We just haven't gotten the material science to unlock it yet. That is a scientific fact. Cold fusion, like nuclear fusion, we understand how nuclear fusion works. We've understood that since the 1950s, but we haven't figured out how to contain it in such a way to harness it for energy yet. Actually, we're really starting to crack that through tokamak designs over in, I think it's CERN over in Switzerland. The trouble is, again, reproducing that at a mass level for power generation. Scooty212E, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the bullpen. We are so close to 50 viewers. If we hit it, let me know. I'm going to do the splits. Them Fatal, got to get back to reading, but I hope you have a great rest of your stream. Absolutely. Them Fatal, if you'd like more and you enjoy this, check out Discord. The Discord has a lot of really good stuff. It's really where I hang out. It's where I do a lot of. I can stretch out a little bit more. It's where I hang out. It's where I do a lot of just chilling, talking with my community, all sorts of stuff like that. Oh, stretch out a little bit more. Stretch triceps. God, I am sore. Speaking of data, how much growth year over year you reckon you've got from that political compass? Because that's how I found this. Interesting. This stream alone, I've gotten about 10 followers, which is pretty normal. So I would say maybe a couple of people, but not much. I got like 70, 75 upvotes on it. You know what? Let's check it out. Let's find out. But I'm glad you showed up from the political compass. That means it was worth doing. Why I do these streams is because I like giving people good advice and helping people out, talking. And it makes my heart, it really makes my heart swell with pride and joy when I hear someone come back and say, hey, you gave me this advice to, start saving money a little bit better or start lifting, doing this or that for your diet and incorporating that into your life. And that, there's no better feeling in the world. Because it makes you feel like I'm doing something, I'm making a difference, I'm helping people make better decisions. I cannot express how good it feels to do that. Being from an insanely religious country to the point where laws are made because of religion, there are a wholesome bunch of people if you don't do anything that goes against their views. That's the thing. That's people who are very religious need to ensure that they can understand other people's perspective as well. That's important. Right, and maybe the reason I feel very strongly about this is because I was born and raised Catholic, was agnostic through a chunk of college, ended up finding my way back to religion, and I feel like I'm in a pretty good place with it right now. I would definitely call myself something of a moderate religiously. I will say I break rank with the Catholic Church, for instance, on contraception. There are 8 billion people on Earth. I don't think we need to continue trying to jack up population beyond that. It's not sustainable. Sorry, Pope, I disagree with you on that one. And that's okay. You don't have to agree with your religion on every single thing. That's called not thinking for yourself. You should be able to, right? Values are things you should be able to take and replace as you see fit to maximize your own personal benefit. Oh my goodness, 500 bits. Thank you so much, Guiding Light. That is very much appreciated. Speaking of Mishi, there's your art right there. So it's the Minotaur holding a dumbbell with the atomic symbol behind him, which is kind of neat. Anyway, let me go ahead and do a little bit of stretching out. Honestly, so I did deadlifts yesterday, and I hit it really, really hard. And as a result, like, my hamstrings are killing me right now. In fact, it was so bad, and Dodge can attest to this, they cramped up to the point where I really couldn't walk for like a hot minute.
You needed help.
Yeah, I actually did need help for that. That was awful. I've had leg days that are so strong where my legs, pretty much everything below my hips just kind of seizes and stops working. And I will say, it's a very nice way to remind myself that I am blessed to have good health, because imagine, oh God, and it's the same thing that happens, early in the morning. Sometimes I will get night cramps. Those are the worst. You wake up at 4 in the morning with a massive cramp in your calves or your hamstrings. It just sucks. Anyway, let's stretch out. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Ooh, that's painful.
Okay.
This is in my king size mattress and frame for free. Damn. I would go for that. I sleep on a full, and honestly, I'm probably pushing it. I gotta sleep diagonal to fit on the mattress, but it works. It changed my life completely, damn it. Hey, Mike, I got faith in you. I know you're gonna make great decisions. I know you're gonna go places. I think you're gonna do great things. I am very optimistic that you're gonna do really well, no matter where you go, no matter what you do. I know you've been talking about your. You've been talking about what is it, a mind mapping that you're doing for figuring out your future, what you want to do, dude. I'm inspired by that. It takes guts to be willing to make that kind of a change, and it sounds like it's one that you needed to do. So I really dig that. Super comfy, although memory foam might not be the move for you. A lot of them hold heat. Yeah, see, that's the reason I can't go memory foam. Well, okay, I can go foam, but I with all this muscle, I end up radiating a fuck ton of heat, and it's, oh God, that feels good. Stretch out the shoulders, stretch out the, yeah, mind mapping, decision mapping, that's what it was, sorry. Oh my God, that feels really good. Oh. You see from the cheer art why you get furries in the chat. Yeah. No, hey, honestly, but I will say, but like, unexpected, right? Like, look at that, look at my PFP. Like, they're really well done. I asked for it because, like, that's what I'm trying to, okay. So why, this kind of ties into what my name is. Why is my name BullMuscle? Why did I choose to rebrand from Beer Battered Ag to BullMuscle? Well, the first thing is that, again, I wanted to take a break a little bit, really kind of separate myself from drinking culture and college football culture, because it wasn't doing good for me. Secondly, why did I go with BullMuscle? Well, the muscle part I think is pretty self-explanatory, and I do a lot of weightlifting. But the bull part is that I've kind of got that bull demeanor about me where I'm usually pretty chill, but if you piss me off, leave me the fuck alone until I've broken something or lifted. I will see red sometimes and just, that kind of thing. But I'm also very much an optimist, and we talk about finances and investing and stocks on this channel as well. We haven't done much of that today because it's Saturday and the market's off. But as a result of that, right, I'm very much an optimist when it comes to investing and finance and capitalism in general. And as such, one would call me bullish. So there's another reason I do that. The other reason, I don't believe in astrology, but I am a Taurus, so that's just kind of a nice little sort of tie-in. The other is that I actually got this really cool little plushie. It's a Spanish black bull. We named him Ferdinand, and it fits. It's the perfect mascot. So for all those reasons, also I think the Legend of the Minotaur is really cool, and well, you know, I feel like I could pull it off. You know, I have a giant axe, that kind of thing. I don't know. I dig it. I dig it. I think it's been a really. There are also some reasons I can't mention on Discord as to why I like the name. Y'all let your imagination play that one out, but you get the idea. They have some that dissipate heat, but I don't understand the material science. Yeah, the trouble is separating the material science from the marketing BS, and that's quite difficult to do. DMR, I love attention. Yeah, no, Mishi's art is fantastic. If you like the art on my channel, come give Mishi a message and say thank you. And we have 51 viewers in chat, so who wants to see me do the splits? All right. This is always painful. I always start hitting like Michael Jackson or Bee Gees notes when I do this. Time to do the splits. All right, you know what? I'm going to do this wisely. I'm going to start by doing a few abductors and adductor stretches before I do the splits, and that should help me do it better. Oh. So who wants to see me do the splits? Or attempt, okay? I'm not gonna get all the way down there. I'm not physically capable of that. I'm gonna do the best I can though. Here you go. Sure I'm at good perspective. Yeah, this will do. So why am I using a pair of just my lounge shorts to do this? Well, it allows me to slide in and out of it a little bit more smoothly. I find that that's better. Breathe in. Oh, God. Oh. Fuck. Oh. Ha. Mm. Mm. Oh, my God. Oh, that always hurts. Oh, my God, that's painful. Oh. Oh, that hurt. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. All that's left is for Jackie. Dude, I'm pretty sure I would injure something if Jackie Chan did that. Further than I've ever gotten. Fair. Oh, that hurt. That was worth it though. Always worth it. So, we've got a fair amount of new followers in here. Evan's Epic. Hey, thanks for the first time chat. Welcome to the bullpen. Glad to see you. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about this up here. The triceps locking up. It's cramping. That's a good sign because we hit triceps today. Whew. Oh my gosh, another 1,000 bits. Thank you very much, Guiding Light. That is extremely generous of you, and my triceps keep cramping up. Holy shit. We should go do a split when I was like 11. Now I can't even do a split. That's the best I can do. Anyway, Evan's Epic, good to see you. So let's talk a little bit about this here up in the corner. In fact, I'm actually going to bring it. Y'all can see it. This up here in the corner. What does this say? It says, financially independent, I'm free. 641 days, 17 hours, 2 minutes and change. That's no joke. I will be able to retire, if I choose to, in May of 2025. Has nothing to do with however much money I make on stream, and frankly, again, you guys have seen how few ads I run. I'm not doing this for the money. My day job pays well enough, and more importantly, I've gotten very good at saving my money to the point where I will be able to live off of invested income as soon as 2 years from now, and I could retire. Now, will I necessarily retire because of that? Maybe. Do I have to? No. There's many pathways that I could see my life kind of going forward. Could go the van life route, could go international travel route, kind of live out off of a suitcase for a few years. I could stick around, continue my job, maybe start upgrading the house, upgrading the gym, maybe become a full-time Twitch streamer. It really depends on how big this channel takes off. There's a lot going on there, but I don't try to brag about it. It's the same reason, right? I don't say explicitly how much I'm making unless I'm directly asked about it, but the simple answer here is why I've been able to do that is because I've really gotten good at efficiently optimizing my spending. When it comes to being able to retire early, it is not how much you make, nearly as much as how little you can spend. As it turns out, if you don't spend a lot of money, you don't need a whole lot of money invested to cover your income or cover your expenses, right? In general, depending on when you retire, the safe withdrawal rate for all of your income is between 3 and 4%. My safe withdrawal rate I like is 3.3% because I want to try and let my net worth grow over time. In reality, of course, I probably will still make little odds and ends of money even if I went full on retirement after this. Not just from Twitch, but from doing odd jobs that I just fancy doing. A little manual labor here and there is always good for the spirit. Going and laying fence posts, chopping trees, doing stuff like that. Just because it's good. Keeps you in good shape. This stuff, you do stuff like that. But I don't factor that in to my retirement equation, right? So that's a safety margin. And this is, as an engineer, right, it's very important to put safety margins into your life to make sure your calculations really work out. You make very conservative calculations, which means you've planned for the worst case scenario. Beyond that, right, I also make the assumption that I will never see a dime of Social Security money. I don't think I'm going to get the full benefit because I think Social Security is going to become insolvent, but it'll probably exist in some, albeit reduced, form by the time I hit my 60s, which means, I've already qualified for that because I've made several years at an engineer's salary. And I'll probably continue to make odds and ends kind of money for the next 30 years of my life, 35 years of my life, I should say. So there will be something there. It's assuming my Twitch doesn't continue to grow. If my Twitch, if this, right, we're sitting at 1,652 followers right now. There's no reason I couldn't be at, 4,000 or 5,000 followers by the time I'm financially independent. And if that's the case, I could well make Twitch partner. And if I do that, there's very good likelihood I could become a full-time Twitch streamer and make enough off of that to not only cover my income or my expenses, but probably have quite a bit left over for charity work or for taking trips and meeting my fans or all sorts of stuff like that. So there's lots of benefits to having all those safety margins sort of packed in. And this is also assuming I keep my spending at what I think is a very luxurious level of around $20,000 a year. I could very easily trim that back to 15 or less if I had to. May 2025, around the time I graduate, starting on my calorie. Well, fantastic, man. I would love to go over and see the UK. I'd love to see really all of Europe. I have been to Germany, Austria, Spain, and Portugal, and I loved all of them. And I would love to go back and see more. The trouble is, I can't do that until I'm out of my job. The amount of paperwork it takes for me to exit the United States, even on work business, is shocking. The regulatory burden in the United States. I've had, this is the funny one. So I play Ultimate Frisbee up in Augusta once a week in the summers, and there are a lot of med students that go to Augusta University for med school up there. And they'll always tell me, oh, God, the regulations and the paperwork around the American healthcare system, it's so bad. It's the worst in the world. I'm like, oh, you think the regulatory burden you deal with is cute, huh? The NRC will make you come. You will cry and say "mommy" if you hear what the NRC or the NNSA has to do. It's wild. Med school, can't wait to be a neurosurgeon and make bank. Me a neurosurgeon, only 400K left in student loans, and we start living it up. This is factual. You have to, and I have no problem with the salaries that surgeons and doctors pull in. The amount of debt they have to go into to get those salaries justifies it. Unfortunately, I think medical schools are very restrictive in the United States, and I think that's a big problem as well. But if you want to see my side of the country, I'd be glad to show you around. Absolutely, I 100% want to travel the world. I would love to see as many countries as I can. Highly recommend Prague, probably the nicest city in the world. Tourist-friendly, cheap, incredible food, best Gothic architecture in the world. Ooh, I have never been to. Again, I've never been to the Czech Republic. I would love to go, and I know the beer in the Czech Republic is very, very good. That's, obviously everybody knows about Pilsen, but college is expensive. Oh yeah. Well, okay. So university educations in the United States are largely very, very high quality, but you do pay for that quality. There is a reason for that. Med school in particular, a lot of American med schools are some of the best in the world, but you better believe you're going to pay for that. But see, now, this is the difference too, I bet. Evan, by the way, thank you very much for coming on in. Welcome to the bullpen. I'd love to hear some perspectives on the financial numbers of going to med school and becoming a surgeon, because that's definitely a very different take. I know a lot of doctors go the fire route in particular. So now I've gone very much the lean fire route. I probably make less money than I would. I certainly make less money than I would if I were in a higher cost of living area. And frankly, I think I'm underpaid for my qualifications. But my cost of living here, where I live in South Carolina, is about as low as I can expect to get it in the United States. I've refined it very well, and as a result, it makes becoming financially independent a breeze relative to if I lived somewhere else. Mike says Hungary would be great without their crazy leader. Yeah, Viktor Orban's a Putin stooge. He's a jackass. Although a lot of the stuff there is Soviet era garbage. I mean, you repeat yourself. Soviet era and garbage. Evan says, I'm in Zurich for a multi-year program. I don't recommend it. One gin and tonic will run you $23. Yeah. Zurich, really Switzerland in general, is about the most expensive place to live in the world. That I think Norway is very expensive. Singapore. You've managed to select pretty much the most expensive place to live in the world. But I'm a design kid. I said double for med school. Yeah, no, I don't blame you, Mishi. Evan, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the bullpen. Someone like you, I would love to see join the Discord. There's a lot I'd like to ask you as far as med school is concerned. So if you're going to neurosurgery is fascinating. That is, a lot of cutting edge type shit right there. Budapest is all like Vienna, I'm told. I know they're both supposed to be gorgeous cities. When I went to Austria, the only place I was Innsbruck, which is way west towards the Alps. Innsbruck's a great city. I liked Innsbruck a lot. That must be fantastic, though. I mean, I know the Swiss Alps are just supposed to be unbelievably pretty. Zurich, first off, you've got probably the best train system in the world in Switzerland. Everything's on time. Everything is pristine in terms of how clean it is. And you really don't need a car to get around. So at least in that way, you can keep your costs down, at least when it comes to transport. Budapest, is that how you say it? Okay, well, good to know. So I live going to university in Wales. Cheap drinks, beautiful country, and right on the coast. Wales is supposed to be really pretty. Welsh, however, I'm convinced Welsh is like just an elaborate joke that trolls have played on us, because it's just key smashing. Welsh is just, if you just do this to the keyboard and you will create Welsh. I'm convinced. You cannot convince me that Welsh is a language that makes sense. No. Some of the town names in Wales are just, they border on farcical. No. Just stop that. That's not funny. If you want to be croissant about it. Yes. Jotter, you were just on my homepage on Twitch, and I'm so glad you were. Well, welcome to the bullpen, and I'm really happy to see, loving all these first-time chats today. That makes me happy.
Really, again, I don't care as much about the money side of things. If you guys want, you can go and tip me here, but that's that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I like talking, I like meeting new people, and I like growing the community. That's really why I do this. So if you like what I do and you want to hang out more, strongly recommend the Discord. Girlfriend's learning Welsh for a job in some of the worlds just don't seem real. Yeah, exactly. Welsh is, I am convinced, Welsh is almost like Basque in terms of how ridiculously nonsensical it is. Like, Basque does not make any sense either. Speaking about drinks, around where I'm staying, in a 2-kilometer radius, there's 17 liquor stores and 3 bars. Good gravy. We do have a little liquor store. It's at the gas station at the edge of town. I've biked there. Actually, they have a pretty decent selection. The trouble is they don't have any non-alcoholic beer, so I usually have to go to Aiken or Augusta for that. Religious gay in a small town. I had to join at the perfect time. Boobies. Well, yeah, there we go. Let's see here. I'll do Highway to Hell by AC/DC. Da 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 da. Wait, hang on. Da 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 bum bum da 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 bum 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 da 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 bum bum da da da. Living easy, living free. All right, there you go. Med school finance. You're already $200K in debt because you did a camera bio degree. What kind of hell? What? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. No school. There are not. Okay. If you got a camera bio degree, that's a 4-year degree. Not every school is going to put you $200K in debt for that. A&M has a fine hard sciences program, and it costs 15 to 20K a year. So let's pump the brakes on that. 200K in debt. That means you probably went to a private school or you went out of state, which does drastically increase the cost. But it's true, you will already be in debt. You feel silly going to apply for a federal loan for another $250K. After total 8 years of college education, you start working for $50, $60K as a resident. But then, yeah, see, that's the thing. At the end of a 6 or 7 year program, you're burnout, you suddenly start getting paid $300K plus a year, don't know how to spend it. Doctors are broke kids with fuck you money. We get a hang of how to stay financially afloat by the time we're 40. Evan, I've got good news for you. This is the perfect channel if you'd like to learn how to become financially literate. I'm really, really good at this, frankly. Here's the dirty little secret, I'll tell you. I save 80% of my paycheck. There you go. You want to know how this is possible? That's how. I save 80% out of every $100 I earn. 80%, $80 goes to savings. Actually, it's a little bit more. It's like 83 right now. Has anyone said you look like Nendo Riki? Is that an anime thing? I don't know what Nendo Riki is, or who Nendo Riki is. But Hating21, welcome to the bullpen. Glad to see you. Guiding Light, yeah, religious gay in a small town. Guiding Light, did you ever say what state you were in? I'd love to know, because if you're in South Carolina or Georgia, dude, we need to hang out. Need to advertise that you're a real-life cosplayer of Nendoriki from Seiki Anime. Dude, we are hitting everything on the compass today. We got the weeb. We got the weeb. I'm going to post it again. Dude, if you're in Georgia, Guiding Light, come talk to me on Discord. We might be able to hang out, because Georgia's not far. I'll go down to Savannah a lot. Augusta's fantastic. The less I have to visit Atlanta, the better. I do not care for Atlanta, mostly because Interstate 20 is hell. But, I can tolerate going to Atlanta. BullMuscle, that's good, bro. I try to put 200 into a high-yield savings account by every single paycheck. Thank you very much for the 100 bits. That's a really good, hey, that's a great way to start, DM Reagan. Thanks for first-time chat as well. That's respect. That's good. Welcome to the bullpen as well. FM, always good to see you as well. We got 50 viewers. We already did the splits, Allie. You missed that. If we hit 60, I'll do it again, because I'm a sucker for punishment, I guess. Hey, look, art. Yep. Yeah, Mishi, it's pretty great. Every time someone cheers bits, you get your art shows off. Now, I posted that
that compass. And I'm not trying to be mean to anyone in here, but it's just like I have I've gotten a lot of different people in here, and it's always fun to talk with a lot of y'all. It just makes it's enjoyable. Really, it is. Now forming at the north end of Bull's torso. Yeah, I like that. That's clever. The Fighting Texas Aggie band. Whoop. I'll subscribe to him, and you can watch the VOD to see him do the splits. I mean, don't worry about it too much. That must be an anime because so I don't watch anime. In fact, it's an old recurring joke with some of the much longer members of my crew here. That I will post anime belongs in the trash jokes, and I don't actually believe that. I'm sure anime is fine, but it's just not my thing. Which is funny because I grew up. We were stationed in Japan. You'd think I'd be a big ass weeb, but I'm not. Sorry. The best anime of all time is King of the Hill. Fight me. Nah. I'm playing. Anyway, so talking about the whole financial independence thing. So if you guys, again, if you want to know the details about like how much I make or any of that, I don't say it because I feel like that's rude. But if you ask, I will. I don't withhold information. But the simple gist of it is, right, so I graduated college in 2017 from Texas A&M University. I got a mechanical engineering degree, and the reason I chose mechanical engineering was because I knew it had decent economic prospects. Economics is a field that I enjoy studying in my spare time. I'm actually probably going to finish this, hopefully, on the plane ride up to Boston tomorrow. The Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith, which is a foundational textbook of capitalism, which is the system in which we currently reside for the most part. So I think it's worth a read. So far it's been very good. It's captivating. But you grew up in Japan, would have never guessed that. You come off as Australian to me. I thought you were a Melbourne-based creator. I'm personally based in Utrecht. Nope, I live in the deep south in the United States. I live in bumfuck nowhere, South Carolina. But I graduated from Texas A&M. Worked at a defense contractor in the city of Greenville, Texas for a few years until 2021. I'd always wanted to get into the nuclear industry because I think it's fascinating. The technology can be used both for very good or very evil. Insert Oppenheimer reference here. And then since I moved here to South Carolina, I have since bought a house. I deliberately chose to buy a house in a low cost of living small town. It may be a sleepy town, but there's lots of benefits to living here, and I could go on and on about that. I've got half an acre. I grow Scuppernong grapes in the back. I'm probably going to make wine out of them again this year. I've got neighbors that, they ask me for favors lifting heavy objects for them, and as a result, I get fresh fruit, be that lemons, limes in the winter, oranges, fresh pears, figs, you name it. It's fantastic. It works out really, really well. We share lots of stuff, and it's a great little small town southern community here. I'm telling you, the Deep South is so fucking underrated as a place to live. People, especially people from outside of the United States, have this kind of negative perception about the Deep South. Most people, when they come to the United States for like tourism, if they're international, they'll check out DC or New York or California, maybe Florida or Texas, but very, very few of them come to the Deep South, which is, I think the most interesting and definitely, in my opinion, my favorite region of the United States. I love living in the South. We have our problems, but it's very much the place I like to be. You're personally based in Utrecht. That is a really cool city. I know y'all have done a lot. Y'all and Groningen, and I apologize, it's Dutch. I can't fucking say it correctly. But what I love about those two cities in particular in the Netherlands is they have dedicated a ton of effort to making their cities as bicycle friendly as possible. And I love that because it's a form of transportation that requires burning the fat off of your own ass instead of burning gasoline. That's awesome. I don't think I could do something other than small town after doing it for so long. Oh, I've lived all over the place. I grew up in an Air Force family. My dad was stationed all over the world, so we followed him. We were stationed in Kadena Air Force Base in Okinawa, Japan, and Yokota Air Force Base
which is basically in Tokyo, which then was the biggest city in the world. And also, I love Japan. It's the funniest thing. Again, you'd think I was a weeb. I love Japanese culture. I would love to learn judo. Like, if I was going to pick a martial art, I'd choose judo, not because it's more practical. It really isn't. It's mostly just throwing in defensive maneuvers, but I love the culture, judokan culture. I love the samurai mindset. I love a lot of that. And I love the cuisine, too. Anime just doesn't do much for me. I don't It shouldn't be that way, but it is. Aspire one day to be guru from the compass. You'll find a few of them, especially on the Discord crusade. I would highly recommend joining that if you want to meet some of the gurus. We actually have a guru role for that reason. I'm up in North Georgia. Atlanta is not my scene. Ooh, if you've been in Tallulah Falls, I love Tallulah Falls in Georgia. The Tallulah Gorge and Tallulah Falls in Georgia is fantastic. Judging by the chart, I see why you're libertarian. So I'm not libertarian, really. I'm a centrist. There are some, for instance, I can make a very good argument in favor of nationalizing U.S. rail. And that's about as far from libertarianism as you can get. That's some straight up commie shit. But there's a lot of good arguments in favor of doing that because the market, in a lot of ways, and the regulatory environment around it, has failed to produce an optimal result. Liam Reagan, United States seems awful. No offense to you, but I visited once. I felt like the only choice you have are living in a single-family home or a metal box in the sky. Now it's harder to find. The missing middle is what it's called here. It's harder to find that here in the United States, but it's very much doable. And I do live in a single-family home, but that's because I live in the rural. I live rural, right? The United States feels like Canada or Hong Kong. Yeah, sprawling suburbs. I hate the suburbs too, but I don't live in one. I live in a small town. I guess there really isn't a good. If you compare it to the Netherlands, there really isn't a good comparison here. If you want to get an idea of what my town is like, Neon, I would say, hey, MS Heather May, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the bullpen. But Neon Reagan, if you'd like a good example of what my town is like, the TV show called The Andy Griffith Show. It was an old TV sitcom made in like the 50s and 60s. It was seen as hokey even back then. But the town of Mayberry is very similar to the way my town works. Unfortunately, the only difference really is that my town has more Confederate flags around. It is rural South Carolina. You just kind of learn to deal with that here. Neem. Okay, sorry. Neem Reagan, thank you very much for correcting me. But if you want a good example of what my town is like, Mayberry is a very good one. People are very friendly. We look out for each other here. The town shares what it does. Like, we have a little blessing box right next to town hall that's always stocked full of goods, and you give what you can, you take what you need. It's a good little place to live, I tell you what. And again, if you really like right now, I can go over anywhere, loads of places in the town. There are fresh, wild Scuppernong grapes growing everywhere, and they taste fantastic, and they make really good wine too. Fun fact, neem means mint in Hindi. Huh, that's kind of cool. Bias, but I very much love Utrecht, and you're absolutely right, bro. My municipality is doing everything it can to become a car-free community, which is fantastic. I love that. I'm a huge car fan. I want an EQS or a Tesla or a Taycan. So I love cars too. I'm a mechanical engineer. It kind of comes with the territory. The problem is cars and cities do not mix. The best kind of place for a car is a tight, twisty country road. There are lots of little back roads like that around here where you can absolutely nail it, and you can take curves at slightly less than safe speeds. But in a city, cars just do not work. Nobody enjoys driving in traffic. Nobody wants that. And frankly, given worldwide obesity rates growing, the bicycle helps you look like this. The car makes you look like this. So, no brainer there. As much as I love cars, cars in cities just don't work. Guiding light, yeah. I love the rural deep south. I think it has its problems, but there are some just really great parts about living out here. Hating 21, is crypto part of your financial independence journey? A great question. Okay, so let's talk about crypto for a second here. Oh, Golden Chief, thank you for the first time chat. I'll get to that. That's something I'll mention. Welcome to the bullpen, by the way. As far as crypto is concerned, so I'm
I'm not that knowledgeable about crypto. I don't hold individual cryptocurrencies. However, I do think crypto has a useful value proposition, especially for governments where inflation runs rampant. This is countries like Turkey, Venezuela, Russia. You get the idea. Lebanon. These are places where, frankly, cryptocurrency is a stabler form of exchange than the native currency is. Argentina. And for those populations, there is a lot of benefit to crypto. So because of that, I think crypto is here to stay. I would call myself a crypto bull, but I'm not convinced which crypto is going to be the one that gets mass adoption, or if there will be one that gets mass adoption. As such, I own a little bit of Coinbase shares because I think Coinbase in particular has the best growth profile. They're trying to do the best with regulatory compliance. And I think while their fees are a little bit higher than Binance, they're also a lot less shady than Binance. And frankly, after the FTX scandal, better to play it safe than sorry. So if you want a crypto play, I think don't buy the gold, buy the bank. And crypto, I think, or Coinbase is, I think, going to be the bank. So there's the answer there. Neem Reagan, OMG, I love American Southern shows. Didn't realize shows real life. The way you're talking Southern hospitality sounds like a real thing. Oh, it is. It very much is. We are very friendly down here. We take pride in that, actually. And South Carolina, we do it well. And Dallas isn't bad. Dallas has gotten a bit corporate over the years, and frankly, Dallas is one of the worst examples of suburban sprawl. So I understand why you feel about America. If Dallas was your first taste of the United States, I get why you feel that way about American sprawl. So Golden Chief with the Mohawk. Okay. So I originally did this as a followers challenge. I say if we got, I think this was at the end of last year, I think it was 1,200 followers by the end of the year or something like that, I would cut my hair into a mohawk. Well, I did that and, well, I kind of liked it. So I stuck with it and I'm slowly getting it to where it wants. It's a little bit off center right now. As it grows out, I'm going to be able to trim that, refine it. But I like it. Says, no, it's terrible, which sucks. I'm a decent-looking guy. A lot of people don't like the mustache either. I've actually considered making a followers goal for shaving the stash because I know it's a shitty. It looks like it should be in an old porno movie. I get that. So Neem Reagan said, "There, be nice. His haircut is great. It's okay. You have the right to think my haircut is terrible. That's totally fine." Let's see here. Fun fact. I was named after the Arabic word for blessings. It's cool to know what my name means in other languages like Hindi, for example. So you're both a blessing and minty. You're a minty blessing. That's great. Well, you're in the crypto scene, Jim Bro and Finance Bro, let go poggers. Again, I'm not in the crypto scene, but I have a little bit of Coinbase stock as a hedge. I'm not a crypto bro. I don't own any cryptocurrency. But I think having stock in one or two crypto plays isn't the worst idea as a way to diversify. Mishi says, best vehicle for cities is a bicycle, or if you want to go faster, scooters. Well, e-bikes are now a big thing, and they're becoming very, very cheap. In fact, there's a company, I want to say it's in Kenya, in Africa, that is making a much hardier, much more durable, sort of off-road based e-bike. Because while a lot of roads in Africa are getting built, a lot of the times by the Chinese, there's still large chunks of Africa that are, lots of rut, really hard dirt roads where an e-bike will work great, but it's got to be durable. It's got to be able to take, those shocks, those beatings. And I think there's a Kenyan company making one for just a couple $100, and that's a terrific invention. I hope they sell it in the United States. Crash Override used to do like someone from the 1970s born era. Maybe some tube socks with retro. I do have tube socks. I wear them sometimes. I'll wear them when I'm deadlifting a lot of the time. Some tiny workout shorts. I don't want to get kicked off of Twitch. Is it true if you're friends with your ex, you never love them? I don't think that's true. I think you can fall in and out of love with people. That's a good question there, Monkey. True, I won't return to Dallas unless there's a reason to. I like Chelsea, New York, though. New York City's really cool. I've never been to New York City. The only issue with their public transportation I've heard is that it smells like piss. I don't know how true that is, though, because
That's not specific to New York. SEPTA smells like piss, too.
See, the DC Metro doesn't smell like piss. It catches fire, but it doesn't smell like piss. All of their public transit. My only gripe is not enough above ground travel. I much prefer trams over subway unless crime happens above ground than below ground. That's true. So with regards to Dallas, Dallas has gotten a lot better than it used to be. In particular, there's something called the DART rail. The DART train actually does do a halfway decent job of getting you in and around downtown Dallas up to Plano and back. It's not perfect, but Dallas has done a lot to improve itself. It's still got a really, really long way to go. But give Dallas a few more decades, I think it's actually going to end up becoming a lot more walkable and livable than it currently is. Chef at camp says, it's New York yuck. It's crash over ride. We got the Californian in here now. I love the California versus New York rivalry. That's one where I get to sit back and eat popcorn. So I've never been to New York, and well, I have been to California. My favorite part of California is like the Central Valley and Bakersfield, and most Californians are pained when they hear me say that. Oh my god. Literally bought Twitter Blue so I could upload my diamond NFT profile pic. I hope you're shit posting there. NFTs in their current iteration are pretty silly. I think there could be a use for them in the future, like for concert tickets or stuff like that. I'm not convinced that the present value of NFTs is fully thought out, though. I would certainly not invest in NFTs, to put it mildly. The vast majority of my money, what I do invest in, I should mention, is broad-based index funds. Things like my favorite, so I use Vanguard. Vanguard is the 1993 Toyota Corolla of investment brokerages. The UI is ugly, it's slow, but it's reliable. It will get the job done. I invest a large amount of my money in funds like VTI. This is the Vanguard Total Index, which more or less mirrors the S&P 500. This is your blue chip companies, your Cokes, your Johnsons & Johnsons, your General Motors, your Tesla, your Apple, the big companies like that. I've also diversified with VXUS, which is the same sort of blue chips but international. Siemens, companies like that. A couple others. VYM, which is the high dividend yield. These are sort of like your dividend aristocrats. Companies that are very mature, they pay more in dividends instead of trying to actively grow as much. Hey, Gillette, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the bullpen. What was your reaction to the Congress UFO hearing? I practice stoicism, and I believe in not really worrying about that which I cannot control. I cannot control what happens if UFOs end up becoming a thing, and if aliens come and meet us, so I don't really worry about it. So apathy, there's your answer. Neem Reagan says, I love NFTs. I've supported so many friends who make Twitch emotes and upload their digital art to OpenSea. Hey, if that's your thing, more power to you. I'm not the biggest. Again, I think NFTs need more time in the cooker, so to speak, before they really have a good value proposition. Mishi says, I had Popeyes for the first time today. It's not bad. Popeyes is weird here in the South. Popeyes and Church's Chicken works this way too. If you go to the Popeyes in the hood, it's usually better. We're talking the places where it's run-down homes, boarded-up buildings, and higher amounts of crime. And then Popeyes is very, very off and on. If you get fresh Popeyes, oh man, no fast food beats it. But most of the time, you're gonna get Popeyes that's been sitting under a heat lamp for 2 hours. It really depends on how much of a fuck the employees decide to give that day. If the employees are on their game and they're making your shit fresh, Popeyes is unbeatable. But that does not normally happen. So it's weird. ATL says Bojangles is where it's at. No. Bojangles is mid, dude. I'm sorry. Look, Popeyes, Chicken Express in particular. I love me some Chicken E. There's your real the calling card that I am from Texas. Chicken Express is fucking legit. Bush's ain't bad. Bojangles is just so mid. I was waiting. Bojangles is the Texas Pete of chicken. Texas Pete is it's red water that is made up in North Carolina, and they slap a Texas label on it to make people think it's spicy, and it fucking isn't. And Bojangles does the same thing. I went to Bojangles. It went... Anyway. Well, Crusade, you're off your meal prep, your protein snack wrap, spin and chill stream, definitely be back. Awesome. Hope to see you on the Discord as well, man. Tell all the other guys on PCM or on the Wojak Compass Discord and site what you thought. Love to get feedback. Hava, good to see you as always. Neem says New York City is the best metropolitan city in North American continent. It's unusually car-centric. They do a good job hiding all their free parking. Yes, that's true. If you took all of Manhattan's street parking and condensed it into one sea of concrete, it would fill 100 of New Jersey's MetLife football stadium. This is true. And a lot of that has to do with the acts of Robert Moses, one of New York City planners in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. New York tried to become car-centric in the middle of the 20th century, and it damaged the city badly. It was one of the reasons that started the suburban sprawl and flight out of New York City. That combined with a lot of corruption and labor unions that demanded too much for too little work that caused the city to go bankrupt in 1975. Thankfully, New York managed to turn it around by making some hard decisions, and it's currently very prosperous today. But New York wasn't always like that. I will say, though, that the music scene, that the grimy, crime-ridden, trash-strewn New York of the 1970s produced was incredible, though. One of my favorite albums of all time is Rocks by Aerosmith. And they were living in New York in 1976 when they made it. Same thing with the Ramones, the New York Dolls. A lot of really, really good bands came out in New York in that era. Kiss, a lot of good stuff. How about PDQ? What's PDQ? I don't usually eat much fast food anymore, by the way, I should mention. Also because literally the only fast food place in my town is a Subway, and why would I ever eat Subway? I don't know how it is anywhere else, but whatever service is pretty shit, the food is godly. Dude, it's like the best little Mexican joints here are the ones with bars on the window and nobody speaks English on the inside. Same thing goes for Texas. PDQ's like a Zaxby's. Zaxby's I like better than Bojangles. I don't like Zaxby's as much as Chicken Express, but it's not bad. What's Popeyes? We don't have that in the Netherlands. We have KFC. Oh, my condolences. Starbucks, Burger King. We have fast foods. They have great donuts. Popeyes it's a fried chicken joint here in the United States. You're not missing much. Most American fast food is pretty garbo. Frankly, American restaurants, like if you actually, okay, I'll give you an example. If I actually want to bother and spend the calories and deal with the shitty macros that come from eating out in the United States, I'm going to go to a little barbecue joint. It's a little hole in the wall over across in the town next door, a couple miles over. And there they have, it's a Carolina-style barbecue joint with mustard-based barbecue, hash over rice. And if you're from the Carolinas, you know hash over rice is fucking legit. All the low country fixins, collard greens, fried chicken, okra and tomatoes. Oh. And I will go in there, and it's an all-you-can-eat kind of joint for like $15. I will eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories worth of food, and that will be like the one meal I have that day. I will fast in preparation for going to a barbecue joint like that, and that's how you do American dining right there, baby. Yeah, America. KFC is also better in Japan. Long time ago. Yeah, KFC is very different in the rest of the world than oh yeah, no, they have fried okra too. I just prefer okra and tomatoes. I like fried okra too. They have corn nuggets too, fried jalapenos, fried pickles. I love fried pickles. But again, these are all really terrible things to put in your diet normally. So this is an occasional treat. And frankly, I really only do it when I'm on a bulk cycle. But I will go in there and just eat a stupid amount of pork. It's fantastic. Is it Duke's? Oh shit, someone knows. It's not Duke's, but it's very close to Duke's. Duke's actually burned down a few months ago and they're rebuilding it. So Duke's is actually closed right now. So holy shit, ATL, you know where I'm at. You know exactly where I'm talking about. You are, wouldn't have guessed it. Dude, if you're from you're down the road in Beaufort? Bro, we need to hang out then. I love Beaufort. Beaufort's fantastic. I don't know how healthy it is, but chaat, it's a fumistrate. Oh, I love chaat. That's good stuff. Yes, potatoes and onions and spices and more spices for sure. Ooh, another 100 bits. Doesn't surprise me. I heard from U.S. Americans the FDA is a joke. Europeans' food regulatory community is stricter now. You can see European companies moving to North America, capture the markets needed to cut costs because of less regulation. Yeah, the FDA is a little bit handicapped by big business. And that's something I think we could do better on. Frankly, what I would really love to see are junk food taxes in the United States.
Nobody is going to die because Little Debbie's cost $3 instead of $2. You run a gym? Dude! I would love to come down and work out with you. That's fantastic. Dude, please come join my Discord. I want to talk to you. Please, 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 please come talk to me on Discord. That would be fantastic. Favorite is Samosa Chat. Oh, I love Samosa Chat. Yes. Dude, Samosa Chat fucking slaps. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, I will say, okay, so it's funny actually. Now, even the Mexicans have figured out that it's important to put food warning labels and such on. They have the black octagon with exceso sodio, exceso grasa, exceso calorías.
Exceso sugar.
Exceso sugar, yeah. Even the Mexicans have that as labels on a lot of their junk food. And by the way, Mexican junk food is good. It's really tasty. But we still don't have that in the United States, and that probably does need to change. It's the same reason I have mixed feelings on universal health care. I'm only for it if we slap some heavy taxes on junk food. I don't want to pay for other Americans' poor dietary decisions, okay? If you are 400 pounds and you blow the fuck up and you die of diabetes at age 45, that's your choice. But I don't want to fund the bill for that, right? It's the same reason, like, if you're a chain smoker and you get emphysema, I don't really have that much sympathy for you. Those were decisions you chose to make. FDA's biggest things the past couple of decades has been banning trans fats, which is a good thing. Trans fats cause a lot of problems if you eat a ton of them. Research into aspartame. Yeah, the jury's still out on that. Putting certs out of business by banning that ingredient that makes the mints sparkle. Yeah, I remember certs. I haven't seen those in years. So that's why they went away. Huh. Well, I learned something today then. Cool. All right, we are getting close to the 4-hour mark, and I think that's going to mean I'm going to look to wrap it up. So we're going to look to raid, because I do have some other stuff I need to do today, and I need to pack up, because I am going to Boston tomorrow. I'm going to be up there for a week. So why am I going up there? It's for a nuclear grade HEPA filtration seminar about, it's basically nuclear grade ventilation that I'm going up there to do. It's a seminar that MIT and Harvard are conducting that I've been very lucky enough to go and become part of. So I'm going to be dealing with some seriously smart fucking cookies up there. I'm really excited. I've never been to New England, so this will be a first for me. I'm even going to catch a Red Sox game, so that's going to be awesome. Junk food tax seems like an awful idea. No offense, bro. They hated Michelle Obama for getting rid of unhealthy snacks in school vending machines. Sometimes you have to do shit that's not popular. I want a junk food tax because, again, it doesn't harm anybody. Yeah, you know what? If you're going to have to pay an extra 50 cents for your 2-liter of soda, so that way we have some money in the medical system to treat you when you get diabetes, so be it. If you don't like it, start eating healthier. You don't want to pay the tax. You don't have to. It's the same reason we have alcohol taxes. Those are entirely optional. Hell, alcohol taxes pretty much funded the U.S. government all the way until 1919 when we put the single dumbest amendment into the Constitution, the 18th. The Volstead Act. God damn. Nothing positive to say about Prohibition. That shit was stupid. Really fucking stupid. Anyway, let's see who we're going to have for a raid, because it is about time for me to get going. We got Supernatural, Celtsy. We had W. Ramir come in earlier. Jim is an oven. I've raided Celtsy recently, so I think it's either going to be W. Ramir, who was in here earlier, Supernatural, who I haven't raided in a hot minute. As always, I have a lovely little decision-making assistant right here. Heads for Supernatural, tails for W. Ramir. Uncoordinated. It's tails. We're going to W. Ramir. All right. So, Neem, by the way, I will say, have you ever heard of Not Just Bikes? If you haven't seen him on YouTube, he is a Canadian that moved to the Netherlands and talks about transit, urbanism, and the gym of life, actually, which is something I've kind of referenced here. Go check him out if you haven't. And I hope to see you on the Discord as well. This is really neat. I like talking to you a lot. You've been really fun to talk to, so you have a different perspective on a lot of these things. So we're going to raid W. Ramir. So the raid message is going to be Bull Rush. All right. I will be live. It's going to be a little while. I'm going to be live in a week. So it's going to be next Sunday. That will be August 6th, I believe. Yep, August 6th. I'm going to be out. I'm going to be in Boston, but I will be live, very active on the Discord. So if you want to hang out and learn more and talk and discuss and become part of the community, that's where you got to go. U.S. needs a cigarette and vape tax. We have one. It's very high, actually. U.S. has quite high tobacco taxes. I know this because South Carolina is one of the lead growing tobacco states. We've grown tobacco here since the 1600s, and the locals, a lot of tobacco farmers really don't care for that tax. No, we have a very high tobacco tax. Anyway, hey, do you think Dustin Poirier is going to win tonight? Wendy's, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, Wendy's, you came in right at the end. We are going to go raid now. So we're going to, hang on. We're going to raid W. Ramirez. Oh, why are we? All right. So we're going to raid W. Ramirez. Everybody, I want to say thank you. Neem Reagan, thank you for all the bits. Guiding Light, thank you for all the bits as well. Scooty, Trolossus, Them Vital, Suderpan, Lux, Mike, Typical. Thank you for the raid, Typical. Thank you all very much for the follows. Much love. I will be around on the Discord. I will see y'all next Sunday, as always, okay? Y'all, I want you to make good decisions. Those good decisions form your habits. Those habits form your values. Those values forms an ethos. That can be the guiding star through the rough waters of life. All right, we're going to go ahead and raid. Come in for the hug, y'all. Big hug. Big ball hug. All right. Here we go. All right, that's the raid. YouTube, always good to see you. Thank you very much for coming on in. And hopefully you guys will join the Discord as well. That's where I'm going to be for the next week. Much love. Cheers. Stop streaming.